Live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center in Avondale, Louisiana, this is the 2021 Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals on the EKN Radio Network. Drivers in the Micro Swift category to fire things up. This is going to be a really exciting event because we saw some pretty impressive runs in the pre-final. The driver they've really been chasing here for the entire weekend has been, or at least the entire day, has been Gianmatteo Rosso. He has been great out of the gate, qualified on pole, won the pre-final as well. He'll start on the pole alongside Ashton Woon. Phaeton Saratapon and Isaac Malkit will be on row number 2. Ethan Tovo and Jackson Tovo starting alongside each other on row 3. We'll see Tristan Murphy and Davin Roberts on row number 4, while Jaime Garcia and Augustus Toniola will round out the top 10. Royce Vega and Alessandro Truchot will be on row number 6. Gage Bailey and Bronson Custos on row 7. Tyrone Kemper and Jal Pereira will be on row 8, while Sebastian Cortez and Jackson Baldus will occupy row number 9. David Ramirez and Alexander Procuna on row 10. Lillian Scarborough and Keelan Harvick, row number 11. Keep an eye on the number 62 of Harvick, an issue early. Dropped him to the tail of the field. You know he will be moving and moving quick. Gage Harden and Austin Moreno will start on row number 12. There was a number of incident penalties, reckless incident penalties, a couple drivers with pushback bumper penalties, in fact, 6 in total. A number of penalties getting laid down, which definitely changed things in terms of the way the grid is lined up right now. Should be some interesting racing. A lot of drivers with good speed starting further in the field. But we're about set to go, folks. Our first main events of this year's Superkarts USA Pro Tour. Thank you so much for tuning into the EKN Radio Network. We certainly appreciate it. We are ready to go. Getting things underway. Drivers coming out of turn 17. It's time to go racing here. Gianmatteo Rosso on the inside, Ashton Woon on the outside. They'll get into the staging lanes. It is main event time here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Green, green, green. Drivers racing their way down into turn number 1. Let's see if we get out cleanly, and we do so far through the chicane turn number 2. Pretty solid. Again, we'll keep an eye on Keelan Harvick coming from the tail of the field. You know, the front-running group will try to settle in to see who's going to lead early and see if they can't do a bit of a breakaway. Much different approach for Keelan Harvick than we've seen in the SKUSA Winter Series, where he was always starting at the front of the pack. This time, a different experience for the young driver out of North Carolina. He'll have to work his way forward here. Rosso has been strong, though, all day long. He's been very good in that number 10 machine. So look for Rosso to try to complete the sweep of the day on the Nitro Kart. Drivers settling in, working their way around through turns number 12 and 13, the right to left chicane. Looks like we got a driver moving to the lead here right now. Early on, drivers settling in. That might be Ethan Tovo, I think, has gone to the lead, the number 13, little push mid-corner. Indeed, Tovo goes to the lead. Right behind him is the 85 of Saratapon, Phaeton Saratapon. Gianmatteo Rosso now running in that 3rd spot. 4th position is Ashton Woon. 5th is Tristan Murphy. Tovo working his way from 5th to P1 in the start here. We have a yellow flag flying over for a driver off, potentially in turn number 3, but it looks like clean through. How about Keelan Harvick to 12th on the opening lap? Started 22nd up to 12th, 10 position improvement, so really took advantage of the opening lap. A lot of times, especially in the micro class here, some of the drivers may be a little more cautious, a little careful on the opening lap to make sure they're able to get through cleanly. You can take advantage of that if you're more aggressive and are able to make passes, dive bomb moves to the inside of some of these corners. And that has put Harvick on the move. In fact, he's pushing already to get himself forward. Harvick at the tail of what is essentially the lead group. 12 drivers in that lead pack. He's got Truchot right in front of him, I believe. Indeed, Alessandro Truchot right in front of Harvick. And Truchot's had good speed. There's contact right there between the 75 and the 30. That was coming through. Trying to figure out who was together there. I know that Jal Pereira was the driver who got kind of shuffled out a little bit there. Thought I saw 75. It might have been 76 based on the numbers. That could have been Bronson Kustas. Nonetheless, Tovo still up front. Toniolo, Augustus Toniolo goes purple on lap number 2. Again, 18-lap main events for the cadet drivers, 20-lap main events for the remainder of the categories. Good to get things rolling here. Tovo, your leader. New leader now, though. Looks like Rosso, I think, has gone back out front. No, that's the 14, actually. That's Toniolo. He went purple last lap, and boom! Remember, Toniolo was the driver on the move. Let's kind of recover this a little bit. Toniolo was the guy who was actually moving forward in that pre-main. Obviously made the issue in the pre-final where he was probably could have made the pass on Truchot, but there was contact as they came up the straightaway, and he ended up spinning sideways and going backwards. Toniolo was one of the fastest drivers on the racetrack at that point. He's pulling away as your leader. So Toniolo, who went purple a couple of laps ago, already pushes himself to the lead and is stretching away a bit. What a good run here for Toniolo. Ethan Tovo runs in second, Rosso third, Ashton Moon fourth, and Tristan Murphy rounding out the top 5 last time by. We got a lot of action here right now. Coming back out of turn number 11, the double right-hander, leading back through the chicane 12 and 13 again. Augustus Toliano's got a pretty solid lead right now. I did say in the pre-final that I thought if there wasn't contact between he and Truchot with those couple laps to go, that he may have been able to make a race of it. He was the fastest driver on the racetrack, and indeed, Gianmatteo Rosso most definitely getting a bit of a gift there, not having to battle at all. Toniolo now out to an 0.8 of a second lead. As we're just very early in this 18-lapper, 4 laps in, and Toniolo holding the lead right now. Keelan Harvick's worked his way back up to 8th. Obviously, the first 10 a little bit easier, but once you start getting into this rest of this group, you got to dig in tight. And he is trying to get himself back up here now. He's in that 8th position. In front of him right now is number 12, another Parolin driver, Jaime Garcia. Here comes Harvick. He's going to move to the inside of Garcia going down into turn number 1. Book it. He's through. So move Harvick now into 7th spot. And this is it. Long way to go here still. You just don't want to get the leaders to be able to pull away. Yeah, you want to be patient, make the passes as necessary, but you don't want to let those leaders check out to the point where you can't get yourself forward. Harvick does have the pace to get himself up to potential podium, potentially drive for the race win, but he's in the middle of a fight right now because we got a lead pack, essentially. Toniolo's pulled away. You've got Rousseau running with Ethan Tovo. Tovo just went purple, so they're strong here. Then another second back to that group of Woon, Murphy, Malkit, Garcia, and Harvick. 5 drivers battling it out there right now, but that's outside the top 3, outside podium contention. The front-running 3 drivers, the potential podium drivers, have stretched away comfortably. I believe it's now Malkit who has worked his way up into the 4 spot. Isaac Malkit to P4. Battle 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Not that far back are 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Davin Roberts, Alessandro Truchot, Sebastian Cortez, Jackson Tovo, and Gage Bailey. Fast lap still belongs to Ethan Tovo, back on lap number 5, a 1:10.464. He's the one that's in the fight right now with Rousseau. Looks to me like Rosso's been able to stretch away a bit from Tovo, and he may be reeling back in on it, and on Toniolo indeed. He was quicker by 2/10 last time by. Here comes Rosso closing back up here on Toniolo for the race lead. What do we got for 4th and 5th now? Malkit runs in the 4th spot. What a great run here for Tristan Murphy. Up here in the 5th. Murphy runs P5. Jaime Garcia in 6th spot. Harvick in 7th. Woon 8th. Truchot 9th and Cortez 10th. Harvick now up into the 7th spot. Keelan starting back in 22nd. Was able to get probably 8 or 9 spots on the opening circuit. Of course, gets tougher and tougher, right? The competition gets a little stiffer the closer you get to the front of the order, and he is working his way through here. Right now, lining up with Jaime Garcia. See if they can't reel back in Tristan Murphy and Isaac Malkit, because right now they've got about 7/10 or 8/10 of a second back there. And those two drivers are lined up. Harvick's actually got by Garcia, so move Harvick, I believe, into the 6th spot. All told, back by over 4 seconds from the leader. Still Toniolo. Although Rosso last time by went purple with a 1:10.419, was 3/10 quicker. A 10 of Rosso keeps coming. Not a purple lap this time by. In fact, Toniolo does his best. It goes a bit quicker, just over 3/10 of a second, but really that's only 4 or 5 kart lengths here for the drivers in this micro class. We'll have both of our KA categories up next, KA Junior, then followed by KA100 Senior. Those are going to be some great races for sure. We saw some tremendous wheel-to-wheel action in the pre-finals. These extended main events are going to make things even tougher. Again, welcome to those of you tuning in here to the EKN Radio Network. Happy to be able to bring you live audio coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour once again. Proud to say that we've been with Superkarts USA since the launch of the Pro Tour back in 2010. It's been a treat to be part of it, and it's been great that we've been able to broadcast so many live shows, live events here, audio-wise, on the EKN Radio Network. Back again for another season. David Cole will be back with me alongside Alicia here for the Spring Nationals in May at Utah Motorsports campus. Just great to be back here at NOLA Motorsports, too, picking up where we left off last year. Unfinished business, of course, here due to the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown, but we're back in racing and thrilled that those of you in the sport have got a chance to kind of rebound with it again. Great to hear from our industry that a lot of the shops and teams had really strong years last year, and I know that's obviously not to be said by so many of the other industry sectors. We were, I think, very lucky in terms of karting and how our industry stepped up, how our organizations and how all the tracks stepped up to be able to work with local health officials to make sure that we were going to be able to go racing. Whatever we had to do to be able to race is what we did, and I think that's one of the things that protected the sport of karting from some of the issues that hindered other sports. Good to be back, good to be racing, and great to have a full paddock here at NOLA Motorsports Park for the opening round of the Pro Tour. Coming around to the halfway point, they'll see the crossed halfway flags from Aaron Lake. No, we've already seen it, actually. It's not 10, this is 8. That was last time by. Now we're in lap number 10. 8 laps to go. Toniolo still leading. He and Rosso pulling away. Keelan Harvick still up on the wheel, trying to see if he can't get himself back up here for Tristan Murphy. I don't see it happen. 1:11 flat. Murphy was actually a couple of tenths of a second quicker. Keelan's kind of by himself right now. No draft help whatsoever. Still a good run from the tail of the field. Press the reset button and come back and go for that win on Sunday. Quick look at the top 10. Toniolo leads. Rosso second. 2.5 seconds back to Isaac Malkit and Ethan Tovo. Tristan Murphy right there as well. Those three drivers separated by probably 4 or 5 cart, maybe 3 cart lengths. But I'll tell you, Tristan Murphy keeps coming up here on Tovo. Onto the brakes into 17. Keelan Harvick running in that 6th spot. 7th, Jaime Garcia. 8th, Ashton Woon. 9th, Alessandro Truchot. And 10th is Jackson Tovo. Keelan Harvick, of course, the biggest mover, up 16 spots from 22nd to 6th. Tony Olo started 10th. He's worked his way to the lead, so a really good run for him as well. Sebastian Cortez started back at 17th. He's worked his way up to 11th spot. A couple drivers retiring already. Jackson Boldus and Phaethon Saradapan out of the race. Again, those of you tuning in maybe just for the main events, here is your class lineup. Waiting for your favorite driver. KA100 Junior will be up next, followed by KA100 Senior. We're essentially about half an hour, 30 minutes off the schedule. So if you're looking at a schedule, add about 30 minutes, and that's kind of where we're going to be. After the KA100 drivers, we'll have Mini Swift, followed by the Pro Shifter and Master Shifters drivers in their combined race group. And then we'll wrap the day up with the 3 X30 categories, X30 Junior, X30 Master, and X30 Senior. Another purple lap there for Rousseau. I almost wonder if he's just not going to bide in his time here now. Gian Matteo Rousseau trying to see if he can't size up Augustus Toniolo. Quicker by about a 10th last time by. But then again, Toniolo turned his best lap as well, so it's not, even though he could gain another 10th of a second, Toniolo's kart continues to come in as well. The Rollison Performance Group driver on that Cosmic took the lead back on lap number 3 and has not been headed since. So on the Nitro. Malkit and Tovo going at it again. Oh, we got a black flag laying out here for the 57. That's Gage Harden, so something wrong there with Gage Harden. He got the black. It'll be it for the 57. I'll tell you, this battle right now for 3rd, 4th, and 5th is pretty solid. Tovo, Malkit, and Murphy are going at it. Malkit holds the spot. Got it back from Tovo, who got it at the line last lap. I talked about the fact that Toniolo keeps getting better. Rousseau had set that purple lap, but he just fell off a little bit. Rousseau's dropped off. He dropped off about 0.3 of a second, and Toniolo did another one of his fastest laps. Not quite purple, but he keeps getting better and better. Crossing the line again. Backed it off to a 1:10.47, almost 0.2 off what he just did. But still, the gap now up to 0.8 of a second. Toniolo trying to get a good start to the season here with a potential victory in this Micro Swift class. Rousseau's had a good day, though, too, already. Even if he comes home second, qualified on pole, won the pre-final, and now running second. That's the point you're looking for. Pretty solid gap. And a big one back as well, too, as I said, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Then you got, actually, that's probably 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's Malkit, Murphy, and Tovo. Keelan Harvick is coming on strong. He's got Jaime Garcia with him, and we're not done yet. As I said, 4 laps still to go. There'll be 3 to go this time by. And Harvick is doing what he can to see if he can't get himself back on the podium, because he is closing up on 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Still 3 laps to go once they get around here. Harvick's up on the wheel. Yeah, Harvick was quicker by 0.3 of a second than all those guys, even more to Murphy. He's got to dig in. Harvick about 0.6 back. That would be the 2 laps that would put him right there for a last lap, maybe challenge. He needs them to be racing as well. Tovo's going to go to the inside of Murphy. Malkit's got the spot, so this is going to give him a little bit. This will give Malkin a little, Harvick a little bit, because they went side by side all the way down into 1. Tovo back to P4. Murphy in 5th. Murphy's going to try the inside move in turn 6. This will again potentially give Harvick some run, and he does. He closes again. Tough for the drivers out front when you don't always get a lot of PA time when you got the position locked, because the battle right now, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Malkin, Murphy, Tovo, and Harvick. Seeing if Harvick can come from the tail of the field to get himself on the podium. He is almost a Murphy now. This is kind of a little bit allowed Malkin to stretch away a bit. Oh, yeah, we're lining them up pretty good here now. Malkin's been able to stretch away. He looks like he's going to have 3rd locked and loaded. We've only got 2 laps to go, but this is still coming down to 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. Now it's Tovo, Murphy, Harvick, and Garcia. Malkin's been able to get away from that chaos. So really it's Toniolo, Rousseau, and Malkin with big gaps around all of them. It's a 1.5-second lead now for Augustus Toniolo, as he looks to try to bring Rawls Performance Group this micro-swift victory. He was super strong in the pre-final, as I said. Got into it a little bit with Alessandro Truchot coming down the straightaway. I don't know if there was a move for Truchot or what happened, but nonetheless, he climbed up the back a little bit and ended up doing a 360 on the racetrack, was able to continue. And I think he had an opportunity to potentially reel in Rousseau there in the pre-final. White flag going to fly for Toniolo. 1 more lap. Harvick still running 6th. Just hasn't been able to make the move past Tristan Murphy or Ethan Tovo. A great field of young drivers in this micro swift class. Final circuit, though, for Augustus Toniolo. Let's see this final lap. Toniolo good. Coming through 10. Over now to 12 and 13. Open racetrack for him. Great day for Rousseau, but the driver who stepped it up in the pre-final just to come up a bit short after contact doesn't let it waver his focus at all. Coming out of the final couple of corners here through turn number 17 onto the front straightaway. Big victory to kick off the Pro Tour in micro for Rawls Performance Group. Augustus Toniolo with the race win. Gianmatteo Rousseau brings it home. Oh, Harvick has some trouble coming out of the final corner. He'll lose a spot. Toniolo wins it. As I said, Rousseau 2nd, Malkin 3rd, Tovo 4th, Tristan Murphy in 5th, and Harvick just got a little wide coming out at turn number 17 and actually got all the way to the other side of the big wide rumble strips and got into the grass, almost looped it around, but was able to control it. He ends up coming home 7th. Alessandro Truchot up 4 spots to finish 8th. Ashton Woon in 9th, and Sebastian Cortez up 7 spots to finish in the 10th spot. A lot of great action there. Keelan Harvick, of course, coming from the tail of the field to finish 7th, up 15 spots. But 9-spot improvement for the win for Augustus Toniolo. After the issues on the track in the pre-final, fell back, as we had said, ends up starting in the 10th position, but he worked his way forward quickly. Definitely the class of the field, although he didn't get the fast lap. That was Gianmatteo Rousseau. Rousseau, a great day, of course. Qualifies on pole, wins the pre-final, and 2nd in the main. But the victor today here in the Micro Swift class to start off the season. And again, Micro Swift brought to you by D&J Intermodal Services. It's Augustus Toniolo with the win. 1.930 seconds, the margin of victory. The podium, unofficially, Toniolo, Rousseau, and Malkin. Folks, we're underway here. Main events of the Superkarts USA Winter Nationals. Day number 1 here from NOLA Motorsports. Don't go anywhere. Lots of racing still to come here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires. It all started in 1994, when former successful kart driver Albino Parolin decided to move his passion for karting from the track to his small workshop. That's when Parolin was born. Fast forward 20 years, and Parolin's passion for the sport led to the company rejoining international competitions as a factory team in WSK and CIK FIA races, with the aim of enhancing the research and development process, immediately achieving notable results around Europe, North America, and Asia, becoming the CIK FIA Asia Pacific KZ champion in the same year. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products, and we run a factory team at all of the major Superkarts USA and Rock Cup USA events. The Parolin chassis lineup for 2021 includes the Invader Shifter, the Le Mans Tag single-speed chassis for junior and senior classes, and the 28mm mini kart for the cadet classes. Parolin has been winning races all over the world, and it's on top of the podium in the USA as well, with drivers like Kai Sorensen, Mateus Orjuela, and Alessandro De Tullio. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. For more information, head to ParolinUSA.com. You can buy all the latest and greatest products on the market, but when you're karting to win, it boils down to one thing: you, the driver. Gain the knowledge and abilities by investing in yourself at the Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, and you'll find those extra tenths of a second you need to put yourself on the podium. The school was established by Superkarts USA Hall of Fame driver Allen Rudolph, with decades of victories and championships in multiple forms of the sport, including other disciplines of racing. The Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, located at the Speed Sports Racing Park in the metropolitan Houston area, is designed to teach driving skills at all levels. The instructors of the Academy have decades of racing experience and educating drivers of all ages. Classes at the Academy will teach the concepts and skills needed both behind the wheel and off the track. From the beginning kart racing experience and intro to karting courses, to their advanced 1-day and 2-day courses and karting clinics, the Allen Rudolph Racing Academy can improve the skills of any driver. For more information on the specific programs that the Allen Rudolph Racing Academy can provide for you, head to speedsports.com and click on the Racing Academy page. Be sure to follow the Academy on social media by searching for Allen Rudolph Racing Academy. Now back to the Superkarts USA WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network. Welcome back to live coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals here from NOLA Motorsports. My name's Rob Howden, live coverage here. 79 degrees, I think, still in there. No, it's even warmer. It's got up to about 82 degrees here. We actually have had some pretty nice sun, which is awesome to see. Humidity down to about 73. But yeah, really solid to have some blue skies here at the racetrack. We're getting set to go here now with KA100 Junior. Noah Baker's going to start on the pole alongside Carson Morgan. Row 2 will be Jeremy Fletcher and Elio Mesa. On row 3, it'll be Parker DeLong alongside Cole Kleck. Row number 4 will be Chase Hand and Sebastian Weldon. Row 5, Austin Jurors and Rowan Gill. On row 6, it'll be Jack Jefferson, Colin Lloyd. Row 7, Jesus Vasquez Jr. and Cameron Reed. Row 8 is going to see Cameron Brinkman start alongside Mateo Narano, and then it'll be Aiden Ingrata and Luke Welcome on row 9. Danny Dzelski and Braden Robertson occupy row number 10, while Miles Ho will be alongside Cooper Shipman on row 11. Row 12 will have Cameron Steller and Emma Kate Scarborough. Row 13, Jake Giordano and Alexander Gonzalez. Row 14, G3R Euros and Ryan Ratchet. Row 15, Nicholas Stouffer and Jake Walker. Sathik Sarathi rounding out what should be a 31 kart field. They are set. They're in their staging lanes. Lights are out. Green, green, green. Clean through one, clean through two. They'll go 2, 3, almost 4 wide down the back straightaway. 4 wide deep in the field, heading into turn number 3. Something's got to give, and around goes one of the drivers. Couple of drivers around. Just outside the top 10, 2 drivers spinning around into 3 as they work their way over to turn number 4. One of them looks like he's stuck in the grass right now. I'm going to have to drag that cart out. Because of the rains we had throughout the week leading into the event, the grassy area is very wet, very soft. You get stuck in there, not much opportunity to be able to drive yourself out. You got to kind of drag your car out of there. That driver's stuck over there. The corner worker is going to help him here at this point. Try to get that cart out of the way. Otherwise, I think we might even be yellow again when we get down. They haven't pulled that cart across the racetrack as of yet. Trying to get him refired, actually. Get him out of the way. Here come the leaders. Let's have a look. At the 849 of Noah Baker and the 856 of Jeremy Fletcher. We saw these 2 drivers team up already in the pre-final. They're doing it again here now. Down the back straightaway, early breakaway for both these 2 drivers, Baker and Fletcher. Behind them, Carson Morgan, Parker DeLong, Chase Hand, Elio Mesa, Cole Kleck. Behind the lead duo, 2 drivers actually together, then probably 4. You can call it 4, you can call it 12, because 4 guys pretty close. The rest of them not that far back. This particular class obviously not gapping as much as some of the others. First of 8 races in the books with a tremendous win by Augustus Toniolo in the Micro Swift category. Race number 2 of the lineup, KA100 Junior, brought to you by North Texas Carters. On track now. Cole Kleck making a move a little further back to get by Chase Hand. Hand will try him the over-under. Kleck's going to try to get some help. Kleck looking over at him, said, hey, let's go together here. I'm sure that Chase wanted the same thing. Kleck now into 6th, Chase Hand 7th. Let's see if those 2 can team up and work their way forward. Cole Kleck has shown really good speed throughout the day. He's worked his way back up into 6th position now. Let's see if he's got what it takes now to close up on Elio Mesa. Those of you trackside here right now, obviously we'll wait for tech to be done before we hand out our awards for the day, but we are going to take an opportunity right when we're done wrapping up the day here to pass out the hardware. We have our 2020 championship trophies. Obviously weren't able to get that all handled at the end of last year, so we're going to have our 2020 championship award presentation before we do today's awards. So we can do that before tech is done. Announce that throughout the day, let people know. Noah Baker and Fletcher leading by about a second over Carson Morgan. Elio Mesa went purple last time by. That group of 2 that was running 3rd and 4th, make that essentially probably a group of 4 right now. I think a little more of a clear and realistic description, because right behind them right now, Parker DeLong, Cole Kleck closing up. Really 4 drivers now running 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. 7th back there is Chase Hand. 8th is Austin Juris. 9th is Sebastian Weldon. And 10th is Rowan Gill. Baker and Fletcher, it's just comfortable to set in and pull away. That's what you do here. Once you're P1 or P2, you don't need to race. Just take it to the end. 20-lap event. It's a long one. They've only got a few laps into this right now. Elio Mesa getting in the back of Carson Morgan a little bit on the entry to turn 17 as they kind of got the thing transitioned in. 5 laps down, 15 to go. Long way here for the drivers here in X30, or rather a KA100 Junior. Morgan a 106.328, quicker than both Baker and Fletcher by at least a tenth. So Cole Morgan leading that next group. Mesa, Kleck, and DeLong. I don't think this thing's all but done. If Morgan could continue to pick up that pace like he is right now, that 1 second gap between second and third could keep shrinking. Jeremy Fletcher actually now the leader. He's flip-flop spots with Noah Baker. Let's see if he can help him pull away a little bit. We'll look at lap times again this time by. Really good indication of the trend of which way these guys are going. 106.4 for Fletcher last time, 106.6 for Baker, 106.3 for Morgan. Well, Fletcher and Baker got back to 106.3s, but how about Carson Morgan going purple with a 106 flat, a 0.10. The gap now 0.7 of a second. Baker's going to go back by Fletcher in turn 3 and say hello to Carson Morgan. Morgan, Mesa, Kleck, and DeLong all right there. Let's say not quite DeLong yet. He's still a ways away, but Kleck is right there. Top 5 drivers. Almost nose to tail, so the lead of Fletcher and Baker is gone. We got ourselves a race, and would not be surprised to see Parker DeLong close himself back up there either. Chase Hand now running in the 7th spot. He's got a bit of a gap ahead of Austin Jurors. Let's see if Hand's able to close up as well. He did his best lap, a 106.090. So, hey, I'll tell you this, Chase Hand, 0.3 quicker than the leaders last time by as well. Again, it's all about the kart coming together. Chase Hand a couple tenths of a second quicker than the leaders again. 106.390. Carson Morgan and Chase Hand, the 2 fastest drivers in the top 7 there. Morgan goes to P2. Morgan able to get by Fletcher, so move Morgan to second. But Chase Hand's coming, and he's trying to bring Austin Jurs with him. Indeed, Austin Jurs was quicker than the leader last time by as well. We are gapping things here. Sebastian Weldon trying to see if he can't do it as well, but he was at 106.5, so same pace as the leader. He's 3.3 seconds back of Noah Baker. Austin Jurs just 2.5 back and continuing to make ground up. Now we got a big scrap between Cole Kleck and Elio Mesa. Those 2 Texans need to work together here. Actually, no, I thought that was Mesa. I think that might be DeLong. Yeah, that's DeLong he's battling with now. And there's some trouble there for Fletcher as he falls back. Lost a spot, couple spots. Noah Baker still the lead. Carson Morgan to P2. That was actually Cole Kleck battling with Parker DeLong. Both those guys, I believe, getting by. And I think that could be Fletcher slowing on the back straight. Somebody's having trouble on the back straightaway. Someone from our lead group lost a ton down the back chute. I like this lead battle here right now. It's changed up. Noah Baker has been the constant so far. But now it's Carson Morgan who's taking over the lead. Morgan to P1. Baker right with him. Mesa runs in 3rd. DeLong fourth, Cole Kleck fifth, Chase Hand in sixth. Then it's a full second back to Austin Jers. Kleck making a move by DeLong going down into turn number 3. Cole Kleck down to P4. Kleck into fourth. Big movers further back. Let's give a chance to give a shout out to Luke Welcome. Started 18th, he's up to 9th. Danny Dzelski started 19th. He's up to 11th position. Braden Robertson started 20th. He's worked his way up to 14th. Jake Walker started 30th. He's up into 17th position. Great run there for Jake Walker, and he's still putting some pressure to try to get closer. He's only about a second behind Colin Lloyd, but was quicker by a half a second last time by. So Jake Walker trying to work his way into the top 15. Looks like it's going to be a battle now as laps just getting to the halfway point. Let's see what happens in the second half, but Carson Morgan and Noah Baker stretched away. DeLong now into third. Parker DeLong now runs P3. Paul Kleck right behind him. Big run for Chase Hand coming out of turn 2. He'll close up on that group. So third, fourth, and fifth running together, as are sixth and seventh, Elio Mesa and Austin Jers. Sebastian Weldon running in 8th spot. Luke Welcome in 9th and Cameron Reed 10th. Dzelski 11th. Brinkman in 12th. Robertson 13th. Rowan Gill 14th. And Jack Jeffers rounding out the top 15. Jeffers, who had a good run and was running up front, got shuffled back into, I think, around 11th after the pre-final, but has not been able to show the blinding speed that he had in that pre-final. Leader still stretching away. It's 1.8 seconds. Baker back to DeLong. We got a great battle for the final step on the podium between DeLong, Kleck, and Hand. Carson Morgan, Noah Baker. Baker's had a good run, good weekend thus far. Great day. See if he can cap it off with a win here in KA100 Junior. They'll try to go back at it again in the X30 class. Chase Hand hanging out there watching what's going on in front of him. The battle between DeLong and Kleck. We'll keep our eyes on the speed as well. Austin Jers and Elio Mesa to see if they can't close back up. Behind those drivers, which means top 7. 8th, 9th, and 10th. As I said before, Weldon, Welcome, and Reed. I think that Luke Welcome just got his way by. And indeed, move Luke Welcome up into the 8th spot. And move Mesa by Jers, so Elio Mesa now into 6th. Cole Kleck trying to push Parker DeLong away from Chase Hand. Battle up front just feels like it's brewing to eventually come to a head. It's still Morgan leading. Noah Baker running second. Who's going to take this? Same kind of feels like it for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place running as well. DeLong, Kleck, and Hand. Cole Kleck is just sitting there putting all that pressure on Parker DeLong. Hasn't pulled the trigger yet. A little look behind his shoulder. I think he's seeing if they can't pull away from Chase Hand, but Chase getting a good run down the straightaway every time, closes right back up. So Kleck maybe a little hesitant to pull the trigger to try to go to P3, knowing that if he makes a mistake, Hand could pick it up. And then you don't want to be the sitting duck at the end either if you think you're going to be able to make that pass in the final lap. KA100 Senior will be up next. Augustus Toniolo was first winner of the 2021 SKUSA Pro Tour season, scoring the victory in micro. Carson Morgan trying to get the job done here as well. Again, laps winding down. Taken away. DeLong and Morgan still 1-2. Baker third. Kleck fourth. Hand fifth. How's it going to shake out here when it's all said and done? Everybody's caught back up here. I don't know what happened. Had to look back to chat with somebody here, trackside, their track manager, and I've looked back up, and all of a sudden everybody's on top of each other again. What happened? Top 5 drivers all together, essentially. Here comes 6th and 7th as well. I'll tell you, you turn your head, you look away for a minute, and something can happen. Action on the racetrack for sure, as now we got everybody battling back up again. Top 7 drivers pretty close together here. Here's a move potentially for the lead. Parker DeLong has gone to P1. Obviously, something happened between Noah Baker and Carson Morgan happened while I looked away. Again, just had to quickly chat with the track management quickly. And everything, all hell broke loose, let's put it that way. I don't know what happened. Baker back to the lead now. Noah Baker back to the lead. Carson Morgan back into 4th. Chase Hand's going to go by Carson Morgan coming back to straightaway. There goes DeLong and Kleck by. We got ourselves a race here now. Hand goes into the 4th spot. 5th is Carson Morgan. 6th, Austin Jurors. Top 3 trying to pull away here over the last couple of laps. Baker, DeLong, and Kleck. Kleck has worked his way into 2nd. DeLong, your leader again. Loads of action here in KA100 Junior. Let's press the reset button here. It'll be 3 to go next time by. They'll come out of 15 over to 16. Noah Baker back to the lead. Cole Kleck into 2nd. Parker DeLong 3rd. Chase Hand 4th. Morgan 5th. Jers 6th. Mesa 7th. Solid pack up front. Again, apologies for those of you at home. I did not see what happened between Noah Baker and Carson Morgan. Got interrupted here out on the tower deck outside here at the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center. You tuned in at all yesterday. We struggled getting the feed that we needed, get the PA dialed in, get the feed we needed for the broadcast. So that's what took up most of the afternoon. Track officials wanted to make sure everything was right, trying to get some more speakers working. We're having some speaker trouble on the far end of the track, but at the pro shop. Looked away for a couple seconds. You know what happens when you do that here. You never know. We got ourselves a fight right now, though, up front. Noah Baker's got Cole Kleck on him. Can Cole Kleck grab a big win here in the Pro Tour for Arcane Motorsports, Trevor McAllister's team? Yeah, they want to try to push away. Noah Baker looks over his shoulder and actually gives a little nod to Kleck. We're coming down to it. 2 to go. Let's just stretch out through this ourselves. Cole Kleck right there, the Texan. Couple of Texans run 1-2. Noah Baker from Pinehurst, Texas. Cole Kleck from San Antonio. Kleck for Arcane. Baker running with Super Tune. Who's going to bring it home? Parker DeLong, the Arizona driver, trying to see if he can't hang around and potentially pick up the pieces. Chase Hand, the Californian, running P4. His first year on the Pro Tour, has had great success. SKUSA Winter Series and other programs. Cole Kleck, a driver who kind of came onto the scene last year. Great run last weekend of the Texas Sprint Racing Series winter warm-up here at NOLA. He looks over his shoulder and sees he's got room to work with. Here we go. Final lap for KA100 Junior. A couple of Texans battling it out in the class sponsored by North Texas Karters. Kleck right on Noah Baker. They'll work their way down the back straightaway. Big look over his shoulder for Kleck. He's going to go to the lead. He's looking to the inside. Can't quite get it done. But he did have a big look over his shoulder. How much room do I have to work with? DeLong trying to pick up the pieces. Right now, it's still a 2-driver battle, but you get into any kind of mistakes here, and DeLong could pick up the pieces. Hand still trying to close up. He's got Morgan and Jers behind him, but it's Kleck right on the rear bumper of Noah Baker out of 9 through 10. Baker a little bit defensive to the inside of turn number 10. Kleck thinking about the inside of the double right-hand apex turn 11. They'll work their way through, again, 13 and 14. This is where it's going to be, folks. As we're through 12 and 13, rather 2 to 14. Kleck's thinking about it. It's either down the inside here. He'll try to get a good run coming out of 15. Here they come over to 17. This is it. Big wide run for Kleck on the outside. He needs a strong over-under. He gets the run. He's got it. Big run. No, Baker side by side. No! Baker was celebrating pretty early, but he still gets the job done. Not quite close enough for Cole Kleck. Couldn't pull the full over-under. It's a Texas 1-2. Noah Baker wins by 27 thousandths of a second at the line. Baker was already celebrating once he got the cart straightened coming out of 17, and Kleck got a really good run. Just not quite enough. You almost got to get alongside on the exit with enough speed. Didn't quite get the cart fully rotated to be able to get that really good run out of 17. Comes up just short. 27 thousandths of a second at the line. Noah Baker with the win. Cole Kleck in second. Parker DeLong third. Carson Morgan able to get by Chase Hand on the final lap. Morgan goes to fourth. Chase Hand fifth. Austin Jers in sixth spot. Elio Mesa in seventh. Luke Welcome up 10 positions from 18th to 8th. Cameron Reed ends up in ninth. And Sebastian Weldon rounding out the top 10. Shout out to Jake Walker. Started 30th. Almost dead last, and Walker works his way back to 12th. An 18 position improvement for Jake Walker. Most definitely the hard charger. Tremendous drive for Jake to work his way back up to P12. But shout out to Noah Baker and Cole Kleck. Great final laps. Able to come through some chaos there mid-race. And Noah Baker scoring the win. Kleck and DeLong unofficially rounding out the podium. Well, KA100 Junior gave us exactly what we wanted, and guess what? We're going to do it again because KA100 Senior, I expect it to be just as good. Stay with us, folks. More to come here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. Trackside support and arrive and drive programs are available in 2021 for the USPKS and the Superkarts USA Pro Tour and Supernationals, with full product sales and service and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility.
This allows us to offer private, one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. Trinity Karting Group is also your Midwest home for Tony Kart and IAME, and we're your source for MG and Avinco tires in the region. Tony Kart quality cannot be beat, so call us today to put you in a new chassis for your next event. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience second to none. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and we're dedicated to driver development. We take pride in our professional approach and our positive attitude. Let us build a custom race program for you. Give us a call at 513-421-4463 or check us out online at trinitykartinggroup.com. CKR is all about quality, and CKR USA is where you can get your hands on these winning chassis in the United States. It's the CKR Barracuda 32mm shifter kart chassis, the 100cc focused Stingray. These are two popular models contributing to the success of this thriving brand. And CKR USA is where you'll find karts, parts, and everything you need to go racing. Delivering the latest innovation in kart racing technology, CKR carries its own distinctive frame design. Made from hand-selected material, CKR kart chassis combine the highest grade tubing and hardware, ensuring first-rate standards of production. CKR USA has a large footprint in the US karting market and continues to grow rapidly throughout the country. Fully homologated chassis have been proven by top-notch performances from coast to coast in North America. CKR has stood on top of the podium in Superkarts USA and F-Series competition, as well as kart clubs around the country. The podiums and championships will continue to pile up in 2021. CKR USA is now in its 6th year of business, and we're adding new authorized dealers and support centers for the chassis line. Visit ckr-usa.com or call 208-384-KART and go CKR Blue. Now back to the Superkarts USA WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network.
Well, out of the frying pan into the fire, if you will, as we are getting ready to fire up for yet another great KA race. Cole Morgan starting on the pole alongside Brandon Lemke. KA100 Senior brought to you by Kart Racing Solutions. Behind Morgan and Lemke, row 2, it'll be Blake Nash and Nolan Allison. Row 3, Austin Osborne, the 2019 KA100 champion, alongside Riley Cann, who's shown so well. Adrian Cruz and Jace Park will be on row number 4. Connor Ferris and Gavin Bailiff, row 5. Adam Rylands and Leonardo Colavita, row 6. Royce Johnson and Dylan Town, row 7. Field quick coming out of 17. We are lining things up, and we are racing, I believe, underway. Oh, wow, 4, 5, 6 karts together at the tail of the field coming through turn number 1. Drivers getting too anxious, too aggressive, and at least 6 karts involved, I believe, over in turn number 1. I'll give you the lineup when they come back around. Another bit of chaos down in turn number 3 as 2 drivers involved at the end of the back straightaway, so the racing itself taking care of some of the attrition, some of the lineup, as a number of drivers falling to the back of the field. We'll give you a full update on those drivers who have had issues on the opening lap. 30 drivers in total in our KA100 Senior category. Just getting settled in here now. Looks like Cole Morgan out into the lead here in that 9:49. Indeed, Cole Morgan the lead. Lemke goes into second. Blake Nash third. Austin Osborne in fourth spot. Connor Ferris now up into fifth. Good start for Ferris and Gavin Bailiff. Both drivers going up 4 spots. Oh, look at the drivers involved here in the opening run. Guys we expected to run for the podium. Nolan Allison, Riley Cann, all involved. Richard Fogarty. Potentially Jalen Mack as well. Can coming across the line. Riley and Nolan, two drivers that I thought could definitely battle for the race win, if not a podium here. Both those drivers getting in trouble in the opening corner. I never know. They could have been the two drivers actually involved down in turn number 3 as well. I shouldn't say that it's just the opening corner. But other drivers obviously coming back. Adrian Cruz, Gia Cicero, Brooke Berry, Stephen Dial involved in the incident down in turn 1. Brooke Berry, I think she may have been able to get through. It was her and Jayla Mack that got together over in turn number 8 in the pre-final, fell to the tail of the field. Both of them had to come from the very, very back. Jayla Mack, I don't know if he was a starter or not, but Brooke Berry coming across the line in 23rd. So she's still rolling, Brooke, at the 924. No, I think she might have been involved as well. Yeah, her and Gia Cicero now running together. Instead it was near the tail of the field. So even though she started at the tail of the field, she was involved, I believe, in that incident. Out front early, Cole Morgan, Brandon Lemke. 1.1 seconds on Blake Nash already. These two drivers already want to make this a two-driver fight. Brandon Lemke has put the Merlin out front, so you hear the collective roar of Merlin Nation around the country. Fired up over Lemke back out front. Merlin brand has had a lot of success on the SKUSA Pro Tour over the years. Key now is, can Blake Nash drop some lap times down to make sure that they don't pull away from him. Last time by, Lemke had gone purple with a 106.055. Nash back by about 0.3 of a second. Connor Ferris, Jake Park, and Gavin Bailiff, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all going green last time by. 106.3 for Nash, a 106.1 for Ferris, 106.4 for Park, and 106.5 for Gavin Bailiff. Bailiff into the 6th position right now, half a second in front of Austin Osborne. Currently runs in 7th. Jace Park and Gavin Bailiff, the two Trinity Karting Group entries, looking good and running good. Let's see if they're able to work their way forward again. Both those drivers again going green. In fact, everybody but the leaders in the top 15 going green. Josiah Tracy, who had some trouble in the pre-final, started 26th, already up to 16th. Tracy, the winner of the Texas Sprint Racing Series winter warm-up event last weekend in the KA100 Senior category. So I'd like to keep an eye on him as well. Looking at lap times, 106.8. He's going to have to find some more speed if he wants to get himself back up here. That's a lap time that's not going to get you back into the top 10. Josiah Tracy. Nash a little bit quicker than Lemke last time by, but again, Lemke and Morgan kind of battling it out a bit. Morgan's going to go back by Lemke. I don't know why they're fighting here. You wonder why this happens, right? Lemke's going to make another move to the inside of 17. You wonder why they battle up front and let the guys back come back in. They literally have passed each other. Morgan went by Lemke in 15. Lemke went back by Morgan in 17. Morgan went back by Lemke in turn 1. And all this has brought Blake Nash to within 0.8 of a second. Yeah, Nash at least 4 or 0.5 of a second quicker. And they're battling it out again, and they're dicing it out over in turn number 5 now. Nash is there. They had a massive lead, and now Nash actually making a move. He's going to go to the lead potentially. Nash thinking about the lead, but he does go to P2. Two drivers who could have likely just teamed up and pulled away, scrapping it out, and this is now a 4-driver battle. I seriously thought that we were already into a 2-driver fight. These guys were going to take off, but no, they're going to battle each other. And this, if they keep battling, it's going to bring Jace Park and Gavin Bailiff into the fight as well. In fact, we're 3 wide coming out of 15. This makes sense. Here goes Connor Ferris to the inside. He'll be your new leader, but he'll lose it on the exit to Blake Nash. What is happening? I don't know what these guys are doing. They're literally going to get the 2 Trinity Karting Group drivers back in here. Look out, because here comes Gavin Bailiff and Jace Park. They're going to push each other. In fact, it's Bailiff up into 5th now, Park in 6th. They're literally going to, they're there. Why not? 2 driver battles pulling away are boring anyways. This is good. Now we've got 6 drivers ready to duke it out. And we're not even done with Austin Osborne, Leonardo Colavita, or Adam Rylance either. They run 7th, 8th, and 9th, and they're not that far back. Neither is Ethan Wolf. The next 4 drivers are not that far back, and we got a scrap going on right now. Connor Ferris now to the lead. Morgan back into 2nd. Nash 3rd. I'm going to say Lemke 4th. Bailiff 5th. Park 6th. Here goes the Merlin of Lemke back to the inside of Nash. Here comes Bailiff. The boys in KA100 Senior said, you know what? We don't want to make it boring for you guys if you're watching, if you're listening at home. We want to give you something to talk about. Six drivers in the lead group. Almost a full second back to Austin Osborne in 7th. Cole Morgan back up front. Actually stretching a bit of a gap. Lemke goes back to P2. There goes Bailiff. Bailiff to the inside of Nash. Gavin Bailiff to P4. Expect Jace Park to come through here pretty soon. Bailiff asking for some help from Nash to push back up here on the leaders. And they've got Park there as well, so they should be able to, all 3 of them, work together. Morgan leading. Lemke 2nd, Ferris 3rd. Leonardo Colavita able to get by Austin Osborne to move Colavita to P7. Park having a bit of trouble staying with Bailiff and Nash right now. He may even find himself getting reeled in by that next group of 3. 7th, 8th, and 9th, as I said, Colavita, Osborne, and Ethan Wolf. 940 of Adam Rylance, kind of out there by himself in the Burl Art machine. Yeah, the Bailiff-Nash program's not working. They're not able to close up. They're going to battle it out for P4 here now, I think. And in fact, like I said, 7th, 8th, and 9th starting to close up on them. I don't know that they're that quick with Bailiff out front of that group. Morgan just went purple with a 105.858. Cole Morgan, 105.858. Oh, yeah, we're stacking them up big time here now. There goes Park to the inside of Bailiff. And Bailiff holds on. Good pass there. Park now moves into that position. P5. Nash back to 4th. Park to 5th. Bailiff 6th. Osborne and Wolf able to get by Colavita. That is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th lined up, and Adam Rylance is coming in the Barella. Front three drivers have absolutely checked out. Seems to me like what we're going to see for the final three, unless they start battling again. Otherwise, they got a pretty good gap. That is Morgan, Lemke, and Ferris. This fight, though, 4th, 5th, and on back is tremendous. Jace Park's got to P5. Nash now 5th. Bailiff trying to hold off Ethan Wolf. Back at it once again. As the driver's rolling here with 7 laps remaining in our KA100 Senior category. It's been strong racing. But right now, Cole Morgan stretched out once again. He goes purple, 105.819. He stretched out to a 1.7 second advantage. Brandon Lemke running there in P2. Connor Ferris third. Like I said, they've got this thing really locked and loaded at the podium. 4.4 seconds. They're out front of Jace Park and Gavin Bailiff, but we're definitely not done yet in terms of where we're going to be for the remainder of the top 4 or top 5, because that racing is still tremendous. And really, we're not done with second place yet either, because Brandon Lemke and Connor Ferris are still in the middle of a scrap. But it's that battle 4th on back. It's literally 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, maybe 10th and 11th. But no doubt about it, this is all about Park and Bailiff trying to hold off the Lions behind them. Although good speed for Jace Park, he's been able to work his way forward. Blake Nash, remember, was running as the leader at one point. He fell back to 7th. And Austin Osborne struggled as well. Austin has worked his way forward. Heck up, I think up to 6th or 7th position. But Austin now back into 10th spot. Good move there coming out of 14 for Leonardo Colavita. He has put himself in the hunt here. Colavita, one of the Mike Doty racing drivers, has worked his way now up into P5. 5th position for Colavita. 6th for Bailiff. 7th for Nash. 8th for Wolf. 9th for Rylance. And Dylan Town has now worked his way back up into the top 10. A couple drivers out early, as we said. We lost Nolan Allison early. Richard Fogarty. Riley Kahn after just a couple of laps. Drew Chappelle and Grace Hammer out as well. So have a look at some of the big movers that have worked their way up. Stephen Dial started 28th. He's now up into 14th. Coming forward with Josiah Tracy. Josiah started in 26th. He's up to 13th position. Ethan Wolf started 16th. He's got his way up into the 8th spot. And it's Connor Ferris, let's put it this way, started 10th. And Connor Ferris now into 9th, rather into 3rd. So a really strong run for Connor. He took advantage of the leaders battling it out and got aggressive to work his way forward. And then was able to get by into 2nd at one point, but he's right now in a scrap here with Brandon Lemke for 2nd. Bottom line is Cole Morgan long gone, 1.9 seconds out front. 4 laps to go. Morgan looking for a victory here in KA100 Senior. Morgan works his way out of turn number 17. He'll put lap 17 in the books. Jace Park in the middle of a scrap here with Colavita for 4th. I'll tell you this. Josiah Tracy, I remember I told you he was quite a ways back and may not be able to get his way forward. He's kind of closing to the tail of this group here inside this top 10. He's only 7/10 of a second behind Royce Johnson. It's a pretty good lap times, actually. Gavin Bailiff, not sure what happened to that car. He's fallen off the pace a little bit. He's dropped his way down to 8th position now. 1:17.2 last time by. Adam Rylance now closing up on him. Bailiff's going to have to fight for this position inside the top 10 here now, I think. They'll have to do a little more dialing in on that machine to get him where he needs to be. Josiah Tracy has worked his way back up under the rear bumper of Royce Johnson. Both those drivers, Texas pilots. Dylan Town, another Texas driver as well for Crosslink competition, running 10th. Texas runs 10th, 11th, and 12th. Big lead now for Morgan as he's been able to pull away from what was some early race shenanigans, let's say. He and Lemke battling it out there, bringing everybody back into the fight. Connor Ferris has gone back to 2nd. He has taken over P2 again from Lemke. And white flag going to fly this time by. 1 lap remaining. 1 to go. That battle outside the top 10's a good one. Josiah Tracy making another move. Tracy to the inside of the 970. A Dylan Town move. Josiah Tracy to 10th, up 16 spots for Tracy, and that's hard to do in this KA100 category. Those of you know how close this engine is, as close this category is. Josiah Tracy rocking. He's going to make a move into Osborne, I think, too. Indeed, Josiah Tracy by Austin Osborne for 9th. That car's starting to come alive for him. He may even be able to close up on Adam Rylance right now in the last couple of corners here. Trying to get himself into 8th spot. Other than that, the leader coming out now, turn number 12 and 13. What a run. Able to stretch away nicely. It'll be over 3 seconds likely unless he cruises to the line. Cole Morgan in the number 949 red speed. Good out of turn 17. It's a Pro Tour victory for Cole Morgan. Brandon Lemke back by Ferris. Lemke to second, Ferris third. Here's the battle of the line. I think it's going to be Jace Park over Leonardo Colavita. Indeed, as they stretch it down the line. Park fourth. Wolf, actually no, Wolf able to get by Colavita. Ethan Wolf in fifth. Colavita sixth. Gavin Bailiff gets back up to seventh. Couple of drivers together coming out of the final corner. Got to figure out who that is right now. That's going to be Gia Cicero and Thaddeus Lida. Yeah, Thaddeus Lida and Gio Cicero together coming out of the final corner. They're going to fall to the tail of the lead here. Cicero still in her cart. She's going to get out. Thaddeus out as well. She wants to go sit down, I think, on the tire or something. Both drivers up and walking away from their carts. That was some aggressive contact. Nonetheless, Cole Morgan ended up getting the win. It was a 4-second victory at the end. Brandon Lemke and Connor Ferris ended up finishing in second and third. Jace Park fourth, Ethan Wolf in fifth by 0.05 of a second. Wolf almost being able to get around Park coming out of the final corner. Nonetheless, hard charge. You've got to give it up to Josiah Tracy, up 17 spots to 9th. Stephen Dial up 15 spots to 13th as well. Josiah, great over the last couple of laps, ends up P9. Strong run. But Cole Morgan with the victory here in KA100 Senior. Excellent run. This category brought to you by Kart Racing Solutions. Cole Morgan, Brandon Lemke, and Connor Ferris, the unofficial podium in KA100 Senior. We've got the drivers in Mini Swift up next. Don't go anywhere. It'll all be live here on the EKN Radio Network.
You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires. It all started in 1994 when former successful kart driver Albino Parolin decided to move his passion for karting from the track to his small workshop. That's when Parolin was born. Fast forward 20 years and Parolin's passion for the sport led to the company rejoining international competitions as a factory team in WSK and CIK FIA races, with the aim of enhancing the research and development process, immediately achieving notable results around Europe, North America, and Asia, becoming the CIK FIA Asia Pacific KZ champion in the same year. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products, and we run a factory team at all of the major Superkarts USA and Rock Cup USA events. The Parolin chassis lineup for 2021 includes the Invader Shifter, the Le Mans Tag single-speed chassis for junior and senior classes, and the 28mm mini kart for the cadet classes. Parolin has been winning races all over the world, and it's on top of the podium in the USA as well, with drivers like Kai Sorensen, Mateus Orjuela, and Alessandro De Tullio. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. For more information, head to ParolinUSA.com.
Wins at the sport's biggest races and championships across all levels of karting make up the resume for Nitro Kart. The Nitro Kart has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. The 2021 Cadet is the evolution of that success, featuring the latest development and components to put you at the front. If you want to win in Cadet, get a Nitro Kart and join the team. The Nitro Kart Cadet claimed 5 victories at the SKUSA Pro Tour, including the Mini Swift Championship in 2020. At the United States Pro Kart Series, Nitro Kart Cadet earned 5 wins and 14 podiums in mini and micro competition. For a second straight year, Nitro Kart won the U.S. Rotax Grand Nationals in the Minimax division, bringing the title total to 4 in 4 years. If you've seen it on track, it certainly caught your eye. Dominating the 4-cycle world is the Nitro Kart Lefty chassis. The chassis is designed for the Briggs & Stratton 206 engine with a left side mount for better weight distribution. The Lefty is available in cadet and full-size frames. The Nitro Kart Lefty won the CKNA Grand Nationals 4 in both sportsman and junior categories, with fast time in qualifying for the senior division. Drivers with the Lefty were ranked number 1 in the Briggs & Stratton Weekly Racing Series for junior and cadet divisions. Team Nitro Kart will be at all major events in 2021 with programs tailored to every driver's needs. Focused on driver development, the cadet program under Team Nitro Kart has helped develop some of today's stars, including Brent Cruz, Parker DeLong, Ben Mayer, and Spencer Conrad. Visit Nitro Kart online and find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and the safety gear you need to get you on the track. Visit shopakr.com for a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors of the sport to ensure all the latest equipment is available to you, the racer. With over 20 years in business and customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price when you need them. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Make sure to follow Acceleration Kart Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials and new arrivals. Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer to winning in karting. At the helm is industry veteran Greg Bell, who has orchestrated the success of many drivers dating back to the mid-1990s. Based in Lodi, California, Leading Edge Motorsports is the Western importer with IP karting that includes the Praga and Formula K chassis brands. Leading Edge Motorsports provides in-depth driver development for those racers in Northern California and across the country. Arrive and drive services, kart preparation, and driver coaching are available under the LEM tent throughout the season. Bell's record of working with drivers includes recent victories at North America's biggest karting events, including the Rock the Rio and the SKUSA Super Nationals. Greg Bell's knowledge for building engines spans 2 decades and is now under the Mega Power branding, providing a reliable engine service and tuning knowledge. No matter the chassis brand, choose Mega Power to get to the front. Click over to leadingedgemotorsports.com for more and find them on social media to stay connected. At Leading Edge Motorsports, winning never gets old. Now back to the Superkarts USA Winter Nationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network.
Welcome back to NOLA Motorsports Park and the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center's eKartingNews Trackside Live coverage continues here for the opening round of the SKUSA Pro Tour, the Winter Nationals here at NOLA. Man, 2 really good races in KA100 Junior and Senior. Just the way they, over the length of the 20 laps, just the different storylines, how crazy it was at the start, and then eventually Cole Morgan able to pull away. Let's see what we can get here out of Mini Swift, brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports. Diego Ardiles starting on the pole alongside Enzo Vidmontien. Oliver Weldon and Jack Iliff will be on row 2. Keegan Kaminsky and Santiago Duran, row 3. Ben Mayer and Asher Osteen are on row 4, and Vivek Canthan and Landon Skinner on row 5. Jackson Glendenning and Ryan Janetta in row 6, while Alan Bonilla will start alongside Derek Wargo on row 7. Row 8 will be Shea Aldrich and Johnny Stamps, row 9, Reagan Seville and Victor de Elencar. Gage McNellis and Alejandro Moreno on row number 10. Oscar Ilef, Carson Weinberg, and Tyler Roberts. Tail of the field. Watch out for these 3 drivers because all 3 of them could eventually win this race. 3 of the fastest drivers at the very tail. This is going to be interesting. Field set, ready to go. Ardiles on the pole. Green, green, green. Do they get through turn 1 cleanly? Good so far. No, a couple drivers together further back. One of the drivers having to go to the grass on the outside. That really hurts. As I said, 3 drivers at the tail of the field, definitely with an opportunity to win. And that would be Weinberg, Roberts, and as I said, Oscar Ilef. Field working their way around the track for the first time. This is one of the cadet categories, so it's an 18-lap race. The remainder of the categories are 20. This will put us at our halfway point in the action. Pro and Master shifter will be up next. Drivers coming out of turn 11, double apex for the first time through the 12-13 combination. Back out of the corner, and they'll work their way down the straightaway over to turn number 14 and 15. Great start here as drivers settling in. See who the top 5 look like as they work their way out here. The 196, your current leader. Coming across the line, Diego Ardiles, Oliver Weldon, Enzo Vidmontien, Ben Mayer, and Jack Ilef have been able to work their way now into the top 5. That's the start. Further back, let's have a look at those drivers coming through the field that we looked at here. Tyler Roberts, actually, he was involved in the opening incident. Tough one for Tyler. Again, one of the guys we expected to challenge for the race win. He got caught up in the contact in turn 1. Oscar has been able to work his way into the 18th position. Carson Weinberg into 19th spot. Diego Ardiles, though, still with the lead as they'll work their way over to the back part of the racetrack through now turns number 8 and 9. Back over to 10. Ardiles went purple last time by 113.433. I'd like to say we had a gap coming with the leaders, but man, this is what we want to see. At least 8 drivers in the lead group here right now before we get that first gap. Ardiles settling in, and indeed, let's call it, I want to say 6 or 7 drivers in the lead group, and then maybe 8, 9 or more a little further back. .104 Weldon, now the leader. And it's the 195 of Vidmontien. Well, a lot of racing up front. Let's give it up for Tyler Roberts, is still digging. Again, Tyler Roberts qualified on the pole, got involved in an incident in the pre-final, went to the very back, has the speed to run up front, got collected in that incident up the front. He's the driver that had to go 4 wheels off in the grass. He wasn't even in the incident. He was able to avoid it. And guess what? He just went purple. Guy at the back, dead last driver, Tyler Roberts in the 199, who got collected, just went purple with a 109.678. He's 12 seconds back. He's got 16 laps to go. What can Tyler Roberts do to work his way back forward? A lot of the gap is going to be just open racetrack, but if they keep racing in front of him, let's see if he can get his way into the top 10. Tyler currently 22nd, way back, but with a really fast hot rod. That Parolin is quick. And we got some racing up front. These guys are going to go at it. Weldon, Vidmontien, 1-2. So 167 now of Ben Mayer into third. There's another pass there for Tyler Roberts. We'll keep an eye on him. He was 12.1 seconds back last time. He's 11.7 seconds back. Made up a half a second already. He's going to need a couple laps before he catches up to Gage McNellis and Johnny Stamps. But we'll keep an eye. I'll touch back on Tyler Roberts a little later. Again, we'd like to have people post online, let us know that you're listening in. Shout out right now to Mark Traylor, the guys from Trailer Kart Tech in Austin, Texas, working on their Burrell karts in the shop, listening to the EKN trackside live coverage here from the Superkarts USA WinterNationals. Oliver Weldon continues to lead here. We've got ourselves pretty much a front-running 6 battle here. Weldon, Vidmontien, Mayer, Ardiles, Iliff, and Santiago Duran. Then about a second and a half back to Oscar Iliff. But he's got to put some laps down. I will say, he's a second and a half back, but he also turned the fast lap, went purple on lap number 3. So Oscar Iliff still up on the wheel. Making a 7-driver battle up front. Not still a 6. It's not quite 7. Well, look at the gap, though, between Oscar Iliff and Santiago Duran. I say that, it's actually Weldon now. Weldon just went from 1st to 6th. A lot of action in this category. Another update on Tyler Roberts as he's trying to close back up here. He is definitely getting closer to the guys in front of him on a pretty consistent basis. He was 11.7 seconds back last time I looked. He's 11.3 seconds back of the leaders, but he's also just 2.3 back now of Gage McNellis and Shea Aldrich. So Tyler's coming. See where he gets. See if he can get back to the top 10. That would be impressive, starting dead last and then having to go 4 wheels off in turn 1. Vidmontien, Mayer, Iliff, Ardiles, Duran, Weldon, back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, there's a lot of passing up front. That's going to allow more drivers to close if they got the pace. Ooh, big move to the inside for Ardiles. On, I believe, the 167 of Ben Mayer. Yeah, Mayer's going to get shuffled back. Ardiles is going to go back to 3rd. Iliff now just 7/10. Oscar Iliff just 7/10 behind that lead group and actually make it 4 kart lengths as he's almost there on Mayer and Duran. 4 drivers have stretched away a little bit. That pass by Ardiles to the inside of Ben Mayer kind of gapped him a little bit because he went real deep into 17 and pushed Mayer up a little. And Mayer obviously had to wait to get back on the throttle. And he's lost a lot of ground there. And Oscar Iliff now into the fight. Jack Iliff up into 2nd last time by, but Oscar's now there. So we've essentially got a 7-driver lead group, although about a second and a half from front to back of the group. Tyler Roberts at the tail of that field after the issue, running exactly the same lap times as the race leaders now. Working his way through, got a couple of spots already. Now open racetrack for a little longer for Roberts. Vidmontien, Iliff, and Weldon all turning their fastest laps, 106.6s, 6.44 for Enzo. A 5.00 for Jack and a 6.11 for Weldon. Jack Iliff, 109.500 right there with Vidmontien. You get a little bit of a gap back to Weldon and Ardiles. Roberts now up into the 19th spot. Pick up a couple of the battles middle of the field too, because there's lots of good racing. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 I think all together. Landon Skinner, yeah, Keegan Kaminsky, Reagan Seville, Carson Weinberg, or Cameron Weinberg rather. All 5 of those drivers within about a second and a bit. A little further back, Shea Aldrich and Gage McNellis scrapping it out. Those 2 drivers turning their fastest laps on lap number 8, 20th and 21st respectively. Both drivers down into the low 111s, a 111 flat for Shea and a 111.1 for Gage. Weldon and Ardiles turning their fastest laps as well. Weldon trying to see if they can't close back up on Eilif and Vidmontien. Indeed, we've got ourselves at least pretty much a 5-driver pack up front. Jack Eilif has gone to P1. Jack Eilif, of course, last year's Micro Swift champion. Leading the way now. Still only at the halfway point. 9 laps to go. Roberts quicker than the leaders last time by as I go back there. He just turned his fast lap, a 109.462. Roberts now right there with Johnny Stamps, and I think he's gotten by over in turn number 7 and 8, so move Roberts now up into the 18th spot. The fastest driver on the racetrack last lap was the driver running in 19th on the Paralyn, Tyler Roberts out of Texas. Trouble in the pre-final, off track, getting with nowhere to go on the opening lap, and he just keeps digging. Back by 11.5. He's not lost any ground to the leaders all race long. Made up a little bit, but essentially running faster lap times than the leaders. This time by leaders 109.5, 109.6. Oscar Eilif goes purple. The Eilifs are coming. Jack's the leader. Oscar just went purple with a 109.325. And he is P4. Eight laps still remain. Long time to go. Look at this lead group here in Mini Swift. This is tremendous. 7 drivers in total in the lead pack. Eilif, Vidmontien, Weldon, Oscar Eilif, Ardiles, Mayer, and Duran. Then 2.5 seconds back to Asher Osteen. Asher finished second last year in the Pro Tour points at that marathon of racing in Newcastle. 3 races each weekend over 2 weekends. Both those drivers showing well. Jack Eilif won the championship. And Asher Osteen, runner-up. Vivek Kanthan was 3rd. He's 9th. Got a lot of really good young talent coming up from Micro. Seven drivers in that lead group. Ben Mayer just turned it around, actually, and turned the fast lap, 109.179. Vidmontien now to the lead. So Ben Mayer, a quick lap on lap number 11 shows you what he's got. We got some drivers up here with a lot of experience, too. Really interesting to watch how things are kind of shaking down here. As I said, Jack Eilif, micro champion last year. Oscar was 12th in the mini category. Jack really looking good coming out of the gate, trying to win this race here. He and his brother are going to be battling it out. Jack runs second, Oscar in third. 6 laps to go, 5 when they get back around. There goes a move to the inside for Jack Iliff trying to get the lead. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it. Not quite. His brother's actually going to go down the inside of him into the corner because Vid Montiang was able to get that better run out there. There's another couple of passes here for Tyler Roberts as well. Let's go back to see where Tyler is, up to 17th. 13.5 seconds back. Lost a bit of ground, getting around a couple of drivers here now. Got open racetrack to try to reel in Alan Bonilla now. Still 5 to go. Seven drivers in this lead pack. How are they going to shake out? Which one's going to make it to the podium? Already heard of some updates in terms of race winners because of pushback bumper penalties, so let's see if anybody here potentially has got some issues. Mesa. Iliff, Weldon, Vid Montiang, top 3, and they pulled a bit of a gap, half a second on Diego Ardiles. Oscar Iliff now to the lead. Here comes Weldon to the inside. Vid Montiang going to push him by. Shifter drivers will be up next. Lead trio stretching away a bit here. Ardiles and Ben Mayer going at it. Mayer's gone back to P4. Let's see if Ben's got something to close back up here. Now they're all kind of playing each other, trying to figure out who's got what. Oscar Iliff has gone back to P2, Weldon to the lead. Oh, man, I'll tell you, this lead trio keeps racing, and that's just going to bring Ben Mayer back in here. He and Ardiles happy to see the drivers up front racing because right now Ben Mayer has sent you right back onto the rear bumper again. Well, the run forward for Tyler Roberts is done. Not sure what happened to Tyler. He's out of this race now. He had worked his way back up nicely, I think, to 17th, but he is done. Not sure what happened to Tyler. We'll see him back tomorrow to press the reset button. Use this as the drop. Focus on the rest of the season. Oscar Iliff leads the way now. Apologize for the wind on the microphone. Again, we're outside here with the broadcast center. And it's a pretty windy day here. 184, Carson Weinberg tried to make a move to the inside of Vivek Kant that didn't work. I bet he's going to lose a couple of spots, getting shuffled back. He started deep in the field. He's worked his way up to 12th. Started 22nd. Carson's had a great run. Good start. Unlike Roberts, who got shuffled off, he was able to work forward, so it's been a really strong run forward for Carson Weinberg. Oscar Iliff's the one that started at the tail of the field, though. Oscar started 21st on this grid, and he has worked his way to the lead. What a tremendous run back to front for Oscar Iliff, able to get cleanly through one and get good through that opening lap, and he and Enzo Vid Montiang pulled away. This is down to a two-driver battle here. White flag's going to fly this time by. It'll be 1 to go. 1 lap remaining when they come back around. Weldon, yeah, he's actually back up into third. Can he hold the spot? Doesn't get a good run. Came a little outside, but he does hold the position as Diego Ardiles slots in behind him. Jack Iliff is there too, Santiago Duran and Ben Mayer. Front two drivers stretched out. What do we got here? Ilef versus Vidmontien. Vidmontien to the inside. Book it. He'll take the lead over in turn number 3. So Vidmontien back to the lead. Oscar Ilef finished 12th last year in the Pro Tour. It's his time to shine. Ilef trying to see if he can't get the win away here in NOLA Motorsports. 4th main event of the day. 4 more still to come. Pro shifters, Master shifter, and all 3 of the X30 categories. But we got a good fight against the future here. Mini Swift drivers going at it. Final lap through turns number 12 and 13. Vidmontien with the lead. Oscar Ilef right behind him. Oscar trying the outside, thinking about the end. Little bump coming into turn 15. Out of 15. This is it. Who's going to go inside, outside? Big move to the outside for Ilef. He's trying to get the over-under. It's going to be a drag race to the line. And it's a better run for Oscar Ilef, and he will win. Ilef the over-under as Vidmontien does the inside defense move. Great run there. Oscar Ilef winning by 85 thousandths of a second. I told you this at the very start. Really hard to run the defensive line into turn 17. Otherwise, the guy's going to go to the inside. It's tough to lead to the final corner here. Oscar Ilef able to do the wide sweeping run, the over-under on Vidmontien. He gets the win. Diego Ardile is able to outrun Jack Ilef to take 3rd. Ilef 4th. Santiago Duran in 5th. Oliver Weldon ends up at 6th. Ben Mayer 7th. Reagan Seville in 8th. Asher Osteen in 9th. And Landon Skinner rounding out the top 10. What do you say about Oscar Ilef? He started dead last, essentially. 20 position improvement. Started at the back. Clean through the opening lap. Ilef ends up with an 85 thousandths of a second victory with a last corner pass. And a drag race to the line over Enzo Vidmontien. Good racing there in the Mini Swift category, and we hope for more of it. We're going to go from Mini Swift to our fastest categories, folks. Pro Shifter, Master Shifter, up after this quick break.
You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires. It all started in 1994, when former successful kart driver Albino Parolin decided to move his passion for karting from the track to his small workshop. That's when Parolin was born. Fast forward 20 years, and Parolin's passion for the sport led to the company rejoining international competitions as a factory team in WSK and CIK FIA races, with the aim of enhancing the research and development process, immediately achieving notable results around Europe, North America, and Asia, becoming the CIK FIA Asia Pacific KZ champion in the same year. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products, and we run a factory team at all of the major Superkarts USA and Rock Cup USA events. The Parolin chassis lineup for 2021 includes the Invader Shifter, the Le Mans Tag single-speed chassis for junior and senior classes, and the 28mm mini kart for the cadet classes. Parolin has been winning races all over the world, and it's on top of the podium in the USA as well, with drivers like Kai Sorensen, Mateus Orjuela, and Alessandro De Tullio. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. For more information, head to ParolinUSA.com. Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer to winning in karting. At the helm is industry veteran Greg Bell, who has orchestrated the success of many drivers dating back to the mid-1990s. Based in Lodi, California, Leading Edge Motorsports is the Western importer with IP karting that includes the Praga and Formula K chassis brands. Leading Edge Motorsports provides in-depth driver development for those racers in Northern California and across the country. Arrive and drive services, kart preparation, and driver coaching are available under the LEM tent throughout the season. Bell's record of working with drivers includes recent victories at North America's biggest karting events, including the Rock the Rio and the SKUSA Super Nationals. Greg Bell's knowledge for building engines spans 2 decades and is now under the Mega Power branding, providing a reliable engine service and tuning knowledge. No matter the chassis brand, choose Mega Power to get to the front. Click over to leadingedgemotorsports.com for more and find them on social media to stay connected. At Leading Edge Motorsports, winning never gets old. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. Trackside support and arrive and drive programs are available in 2021 for the USPKS and the Superkarts USA Pro Tour and SuperNationals, with full product sales and service and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility. This allows us to offer private, one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. Trinity Karting Group is also your Midwest home for Tony Kart and IAME, and we're your source for MG and Avinco tires in the region. Tony Kart quality cannot be beat, so call us today to put you in a new chassis for your next event. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience second to none. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and we're dedicated to driver development. We take pride in our professional approach and our positive attitude. Let us build a custom race program for you. Give us a call at 513-421-4463 or check us out online at trinitykartinggroup.com. Now back to the Superkarts USA WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network.
Well, what a tremendous race we had there in the Mini Swift category. We're back. We're going to do more of it here right now as the drivers in the Pro Shifter category. The Master Shifter category have rolled out here. AJ Myers on the Magical Start pole alongside the Burrell PSL driver Jake French. Row number 2 will be Danny Formal on the Leading Edge Motorsports Formula K alongside Gavin Bailiff in the Trinity Karting Group. Tony Kart number 264. Chente Salas in the Factory Kart number 214 is going to start 5th alongside David Greco in the Burrell. Michael Stevens and Jacob Yesnick will be on row number 4. Stevens on the Burrell, Yesnick on the Factory Kart. Kyle Kennedy and Tyler Kaufman will be on row number 5. Kaufman on the CKR, Kennedy on the TB Kart. Then we'll have Pierce Baldus and Andy Rule on row number 6. Devin Smith-Harden and Vincenzo Saracino on row 7. And Daniel Cara alongside Billy Musgrave at the very tail of the field. Moving down to the Master Shifter category, Jordan Muster starting on the pole alongside Skitchy Barnes. Vincent Cassard and Felipe Rodriguez will be on row number 2. Venkat Reddy and Tim DeBeloy on row number 3. Robert Fige and Ben Schermerhorn on row 4. Casey Brown alongside Anthony Stifler on row 5. And row 6 will be Terry Lawrence and Ken Schilling. Drivers getting themselves into position here right now to get ready to roll. Man, Billy Musgrave starting to the tail of the field. And we got ourselves a green, and Musgrave, who's usually awesome on the line, can't get off because the guys in front of him got off super slow. He ends up getting checked up big time, and he couldn't get that stereotypical start. Green out as well for the Masters drivers. Musser gets the whole shot this time. He won't get challenged like he did with Cassard and Skitchy Barnes last time. Barnes, though, out comfortably into second. He's got a good gap, and they're underway, the Masters drivers as well. Pro Shifter drivers getting started here. Their 20-lap main event. So impressive to see the guys getting out here cleanly on the opening lap. A couple drivers together further back in the Masters category, I believe. We'll have a look at the leaders as they roll through here. AJ Myers out front, taking the lead on the Magic Kart. Right behind him is French, then it's Formal. After that, the 244 of David Greco. Then Chente Salas up into the 4th spot. Billy Musgrave to 14th early. He's got to get himself settled back in here. Not sure what's up with Musgrave, but we'll see what happens over the next couple of laps. In the Master Shifter class, Jordan Musser the leader, Skitchy Barnes second, Vincent Cassard third, Venkat Reddy fourth, and Felipe Rodriguez. That's how they came across the line the first time. Drivers not able to get back. Looking like Pierce Baldus, Daniel Cara, and Terry Lawrence all having trouble. Not sure what happened to Terry Lawrence, but both Cara and Baldus out on the opening lap as well. Billy Musgrave digging, trying to get himself forward here now. Got a couple of spots. Musgrave just able to get by Devin Smith-Harden. And long race. Leaders stretching out here, though. A.J. Myers with the lead, trying to defend his national championship from last year. A.J. Myers winning that title over Rory Vanderster and Andrew Bedozo as the Magic Kart went 1-2-3. Vanderster not here. Either is Bedozo. Formal and French are both here. Kyle Wick not here this weekend. Also, we also don't have Race Liberante from last year. Would like to have a race back, but focusing on his Race Factory program. A.J. Myers looking good out front with that Magic, as we said. Just went purple, 101.267. Musgrave with another spot as he's able to get by Kyle Kennedy. Open racetrack now for Musgrave to try to reel up on Vincenzo Saracino, but both he and Musgrave are moving forward. We'll think that better thought would be Saracino eventually getting up to Tyler Kaufman. He was quicker by about a half a second last time by, and only 8 tenths back. So look for Saracino to start working on Kaufman for ninth pretty soon. Battle in the Masters class, very similar to what we saw in the pre-final, as Musser able to get out front. Skitchy Barnes now battling with Vincent Crossard. Scott Barnes was the G1 champion last year. Aboard new comp kart with Howden Motorsports Group. And indeed, here comes Saracino working his way up on Kaufman, as I expected. Just 2 tenths of a second back now, so look for Saracino to pull the trigger here momentarily. He'll get by Kaufman going down the back straightaway, so that's Saracino moving to P9 to the inside of Tyler Kaufman. Tyler looking good. Great to have him here with the CKR USA team driver out of Boise, Idaho. We know that in this category, they've got, of course, the IAME SSE 175 edges. We also got drivers using the KZ power plants. And Kaufman on the Dubai. In front of them, Jacob Yesnik. Yesnik on the IAME SSE, I believe. Solid lead now for A.J. Myers. Jake French second. Third, Danny Formal. Pretty impressive lineup of drivers here in the shifter kart category. Just coming through the first quarter of the year, so you know David Cole will be sitting down with all the winter results, and of course the first round here to update the driver rankings to see where we sit coming in. A.J. Myers, of course, the number one driver on the EKN driver rankings last year. Jake French, number 2. Danny Formal, number 3. That was at the end of 2020, and that's exactly how they run on the racetrack right now. Those top 3 drivers. Andrew Bedozo was 4th, not here, as I said. Devin Smith-Harden also in the field here in 11th spot. Kyle Kennedy was 12th. Chente Salas 14th. But Chente, of course, running in the peaked the Pro 2 class last year. Here's your top 10 right now. Myers, French, Formal, Stevens, and Salas. Chete Salas, P5. David Greco, 6th. Gavin Bailiff, 7th. Billy Musgrave up into 8th. Just turned his fast lap of 101.479. Quicker than Danny Formal's last lap, so Musgrave's got the pace. He's able to get to 8th. When you're thinking championship, that's one of the things that Billy Musgrave is trying to lock in. Hasn't been able to win a Pro Tour championship. 4 times a winner at the Super Nats. Would love to get that Pro Tour championship. And doing it now on a kart of his own design, the factory kart as well. For the 2.5 behind Gavin Bailiff right now, but about 9/10 quicker on that last lap, so he's trying to work his way up here. Salas in the middle of a great battle here with Stevens. That'll be another spot, I believe. No, not quite. That was Musgrave by Yesnik. He's trying to close up on Bailiff now. Musgrave about 8/10 quicker. Look for Musgrave to potentially get up to Bailiff on this one here. Got really good speed. I think with potentially, just looking at lap times, Musgrave's laying down 101.5s. That could get him to the top 5. That'll be about it. He may be able to catch up to young Chete Salas, who's on one of his factory karts. That would be probably the most he's going to get because Michael Stevens another 2 seconds up the road. Still a long way to go, though. 13 laps to go. Yeah, good scrap here right now. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Salas, Greco, Bailiff, and Musgrave. Nice. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Big deep move to the brakes for Musgrave, and he'll slide it by Bailiff into turn 3. Musgrave insanely deep on the brakes to go to 3rd. Nice run there for Billy Musgrave, getting it done. So Musgrave works his way now into the 7th position. That might have been Bailiff into pit lane. Someone's coming to pit lane here, and I don't see him on the racetrack now. Oh, there's contact between Greco and the 14 to Salas. Chete Salas and Greco. Greco dove to the inside of Salas in turn number 17 here, right in front of us, coming onto the front straight and made contact. He went up in the air a little bit. Salas continuing, but that allowed Billy Musgrave to slide through to P5, so he didn't have to pass for it, just rolled right through. And indeed, Gavin Bailiff fall into the tail of the field. So something with Bailiff, parked it, wasn't able to get it stopped, as we said down there when Musgrave went by him. So that's it for Bailiff after 8 laps. Musser leading the way in Master Shifter. Cassard runs in 2nd. Let's pick up that battle if we can, too, for P2 in the Masters category. As Vincent Cassard in the CRG and Scott Barnes in the comp kart going at it. Something happened. No, not indeed. We have to update that. I thought that potentially Formal gotten by French, but that was just Michael Stevens, the 2 Burrell drivers, French and Stevens, bookending Formal now. Here comes Musgrave. We'll pick up this battle. Oh, there's a deep move. Scott Barnes side by side, and Skitchy locks it up. They got Scott Barnes made a deep move to the inside of Cassard in turn number 15. I was trying to pick him up. Backed it in there and made the side-by-side contact at the halfway point. Both drivers getting sideways. Both able to continue. Somehow Barnes grabbed the clutch. He was backwards and was able to grab the clutch to keep it rolling. Slight contact on the corner there, man. Kassar did a great job to keep it rolling as well. Now we got to start looking at the lap times between Musgrave and Stevens. Musgrave about a tenth quicker. No, he's 2.6 back. That's just not going to happen. You got to be a lot faster than a tenth of a second. We don't got 26 laps for you to catch up there, Billy. Jordan Musser, though, having a great run again, trying to score another championship here in the Masters category. Skitzy Barnes and Vincent Kassar having good battles together. Fourth right now, Tim DeBeloy. Driver out of Texas on the CRG. SSR Racing. Anthony Stifler, currently running P5. Sixth is Ken Schilling. Seventh, Venkat Reddy. Eighth is Ben Schermerhorn. Ninth, Casey Brown. And 10th is Felipe Rodriguez. AJ Myers has that fast lap of the race as well. 101.023. Fast lap for AJ Myers. 1.6 seconds ahead of Jake French. We'll have to dial that Burrell in a little bit more. Myers, French, and Formel as they run on the racetrack, as they sit in the 2020 EKN driver rankings. That's how they ended off the season. AJ Myers, our driver of the year in the shifter kart categories. This is only going to serve to lock it down even more. We'll see some new young drivers start to work their way up the ranks for sure and into the rankings. Chente Salas is definitely going to jump up a little bit. As I had said, scroll back up here. Salas was 14th. A couple of good runs here. Going to see him potentially move up into the top 10. Seven laps to go. We got a full brace of X30 racing for you after this to cap off the day. X30 Junior along the grid and ready for their 20-lapper. X30 Master will follow and will finalize the day with X30 Senior. I don't know what happened. I think we lost Formal. We've lost Danny Formal from the racetrack here. Not sure what happened to Formal. I think he's out of the race. Looks like over coming out of turn. I'm trying to figure out what part of the racetrack that is. I think he actually went off at the end of the straightaway because he's right in the middle of between turns 4 and kind of turn 8 there. So Formal, an issue. He has fallen to the tail of the field as well. This blows things wide open here. That's going to move Michael Stevens up to third. And Billy Musgrave is still closing. He's only 1.8 seconds back. He was a half a second faster than Stevens last time by. Musgrave could get on the podium here. He is still pushing. Remember, he started at the tail of the field, dead last in the class, and he is looking at trying to get up. He's had a little bit of attrition, obviously. A couple guys have went to the sidelines, but primarily Formal here is allowing Musgrave to close up another half a second on Stevens. He's only 1.3 back with 5 to go. Musgrave trying to go to the podium here from dead last on the factory kart. Factory kart drivers 4th, 6th, 7th right now. American-made chassis in Southern California designed by Billy Musgrave, 4-time SKUSA champion, his own chassis. Scott Barnes still battling it out with Vincent Cross-Cassot. Cassard, still P2 out of Houston, Texas for SSR Motorsport on the CRG against the Howden Motorsports driver in Bermuda on the comp cart. That's battle continuing. But Musgrave is definitely closing here. He went green last time by a 101.261. And again, this time, not quite as quick, but still 4/10 faster. Musgrave just 9/10 behind Stevens for P3. Deep on the brakes at the end of the straightaway. Man, a lot of work being done here by Billy Musgrave to try to work his way potentially into the podium position. What a huge recovery that would be after the issues he had that put him at the tail of the field for the start of this race. Battle for the Master Shifter second position continuing here between Scott Barnes and Vincent Cassard. Barnes got into him a little bit over in turn number 15, but Cassard able to get back by. Myers, French, Stevens. Musgrave right with them now. All over Stevens coming out of turn number 4 through 5. The 6-7 combination. Musgrave all over him. Didn't get a good transition in the 7 though. He's lost a bit of ground there. Leaders having to come through some slower traffic here. Laps winding down. French has not let Myers get away either. Only 1.6 is down to maybe a second now. Yeah, French definitely closing up here in the 2:06. It was 1.6 seconds. What is it now with 2 to go? Yeah, how about a full second? That's it. He came down a lot there. Watching Musgrave going out of here still with Michael Stevens. He had some trouble in 7, lost some ground. 2 laps remain. Musser's got things handled here in the Master Shifter class. 15 seconds ahead of Vincent Cassard and Skitchy Barnes. Those two battling it out. But we got to watch this battle for P3. They got yellow flags flying down in 3, which is a shame. There's a cart parked on the outside. And they keep throwing the yellow on it. With the prime passing opportunities on the racetrack. You hate to see it locked down. Musgrave still up and making a lot of pressure here on Michael Stevens. Getting to within here we go. Musser's right there. White flag gonna fly this next time by. Let's see if Musser tries it. Is he close enough to throw it to the inside of 17 here with 1 to go? He does. Big move to the bottom of the racetrack. Book it. Musgrave to P3. Excellent pass from deep. And Stevens had to get off it because Musgrave just absolutely stole the apex. Musgrave to 3rd from dead last in the field. Musgrave up 13 spots. Wow. Impressive run for Musgrave from 16th up to 3rd. Little help from the retirement of Formal, but still, good run. Jordan Musser in the 6:16, clean. He'll see the white flag as well. And it looks like Skitchy Barnes got himself a little bit of room on Cassard. Indeed, Scott Barnes into 2nd. And he has gapped Cassard by at least 7 or 8 kart lengths, maybe more now. Final lap, though, and it's a big victory for A.J. Myers. He smacks the side of that pod. Props to the Magic Cart. Great run for Musgrave. French ended up in 2nd. Musgrave in 3rd spot from dead last. 4th is Michael Stevens. 5th, David Greco. 6th, Chente Salas. 7th, I believe, is going to be Jacob Yesnick. 8th is Devin Smith-Harden. 9th is Tyler Kaufman. And 10th is Kyle Kennedy. As I said, Musser way out front here in the Master Shifter category. He's going to cruise it to the race win in the PSL Karting Burrell Art Machine. And then here comes the final battle for the podium in the Master Shifter class. Been a race-long fight between Sketchy Barnes and Vincent Cassard. Cassard had the spot for a time, but Barnes is going to get it. Scott Barnes ends up in second spot. Vincent Cassard in third. Tim DeBeloy in fourth, and Anthony Stifler rounds out the top five. It's Myers as the winner, though, by a full second over Jake French. Very similar lap times. Myers quicker by about 0.07 of a second in terms of lap times from Jake French. Billy Musgrave able to come from the tail of the field, takes advantage of the retirement for Danny Formel to be able to move to P3. But a good late race attack on Michael Stevens ends up with a penultimate lap pass in turn 17 when he takes the apex away from Stevens. Musgrave third, Stevens fourth, and David Greco rounding out the top four. And that is, I believe, 3 Borells in the top five, second, fourth, and fifth. And again, 3 of the drivers on the factory carts as well. Third, sixth, and seventh for Musgrave, Salas, and Yesnik. Great racing there in the shifter kart category, but it's time to wrap up the day with 3 X30 races. Stay with us, folks. X30 Junior up next.
You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires.
Wins at the sport's biggest races and championships across all levels of karting make up the resume for Nitro Kart. The Nitro Kart has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. The 2021 Cadet is the evolution of that success, featuring the latest development and components to put you at the front. If you want to win in Cadet, get a Nitro Kart and join the team. The Nitro Kart Cadet claimed 5 victories at the SKUSA Pro Tour, including the Mini Swift Championship in 2020. At the United States Pro Kart Series, Nitro Kart Cadet earned 5 wins and 14 podiums in mini and micro competition. For a second straight year, Nitro Kart won the U.S. Rotax Grand Nationals in the Minimax division, bringing the title total to 4 in 4 years. If you've seen it on track, it certainly caught your eye. Dominating the 4-cycle world is the Nitro Kart Lefty chassis. The chassis is designed for the Briggs & Stratton 206 engine with a left side mount for better weight distribution. The Lefty is available in cadet and full-size frames. The Nitro Kart Lefty won the CKNA Grand Nationals 4 in both sportsman and junior categories, with fast time in qualifying for the senior division. Drivers with the Lefty were ranked number 1 in the Briggs & Stratton Weekly Racing Series for junior and cadet divisions. Team Nitro Kart will be at all major events in 2021 with programs tailored to every driver's needs. Focused on driver development, the cadet program under Team Nitro Kart has helped develop some of today's stars, including Brent Cruz, Parker DeLong, Ben Mayer, and Spencer Conrad. Visit Nitro Kart online and find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and the safety gear you need to get you on the track. Visit shopakr.com for a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors in the sport to ensure all the latest equipment is available to you, the racer. With over 20 years in business and customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price when you need them. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Make sure to follow Acceleration Kart Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials and new arrivals. ...2019 marked a new era for the KartLift brand. The company that Tim Coyne owned and operated since 2003, one with a long tradition of quality products for the karting industry, was purchased by Ted Fashing and his business, Stockholm Karting Center, in October of 2019. Stockholm Karting Center Inc. has added the KartLift brand to their very successful Triple T Race Products brand that has been fabricating parts for the drag racing industry for the past 25 years. We're small enough where the owner answers the phone and every call is important to us, but we're large enough to get the job done. We pride ourselves on the quality and personal customer service that we provide on the phone or at the track. KartLift stands, as you know, can be found at racetracks all over the country. If you race alone, or if you're a parent with a cadet or junior driver, let our one-man winch lift make your race days easier. Position the hooks under the rear bumper, push the button, and your cart is raised into position and you're ready to go. We have traditional cart stands, single upright storage stands, KartLift stackers for storing 2 carts at once, tire changers, and skid plate kits. KartLift stands are available at the finest kart shops around the country, or you can order online at kartlift.com. For more information, give us a call at 877-777-8020. That's 877-777-8020. Get a KartLift and leave your crew at home. Now back to the Superkarts USA WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network.
Welcome back to live coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals here from NOLA Motorsports, the opening round of a 6-round series that will include the Spring Nationals at Utah Motorsports Complex in late May, and then, of course, in August, the Summer Nationals to cap things off at Newcastle Motorsports Park. X30 Junior brought to you by Parolin USA, getting set to go. Parker DeLong starting on the pole alongside Max Garcia. Jeremy Fletcher and Cole Kleck will be on row number 2. It'll be Paul Bocuse alongside Carson Morgan on row 3, while Cameron Reed starts alongside Danny Nizelski on row 4. Row 5 will be Logan Toke and Kekai Hawanio. I worked on this. Kekai Hawanio. I've got it. I'm going to get it better. Kekai doing a great job in that qualifier to finish 10th. Sebastian Weldon and Chase Hand in the 6th row. Michael Costello and Cameron Weinberg, row 7. Leonardo Escorpioni in 15th alongside Rowan Gill, while Noah Baker and Fernando Luke will be on row number 9. Capping off the top 20, Donovan Bonilla and Aiden Ingrata. Field set. Get ready to rock. In their staging lanes. Green, green, green. Pretty good start so far. Can they get out of the turn 2 chicane cleanly? They do. Nice job for the X30 Juniors. Tight quarters coming through there. Always tough to get through the turn 4 combination as well. Back over to 5 now, into kind of single file. Now we can go to work. A little bit of double file through 5 as they come through that 6-7 chicane. Again, a little short shoot back over into turn number 8. And we are racing with X30 Junior, a 20-lapper for the drivers here. Opening round of this year's Pro Tour. 3-driver breakaway out early. DeLong goes to the lead. Out of 15 for the first time. Jeremy Fletcher into the second spot. Deep move for Fletcher to take over the lead. And the 7-11 right in there as well. Trying to get that spot. That's a 771 rather, a Paul Bocuse to Parolin. Bocuse from 5th to 2nd on the opening circuit. Fletcher to the lead. Aggressive opening laps there. Fletcher, big move to the bottom of DeLong to take the spot, and Bocuse followed him through. Aggressive move to the bottom, but he took that spot in 2nd. DeLong slotting back into 3rd. No sense in getting too over defensive early. Long race here, as we know. We've seen how they've kind of developed a lot of action. We've had breakaways at the start of a race. They tighten back up to a packed mid-race, then stretch back out again at the end. Kind of what we've seen here in a number of the categories. Fletcher, Bocuse. Now the 701 of Carson Morgan up into the fight. Logan Toke with the fast lap of the race right now, P8. Howdenio in the number 721, not finishing the opening lap. I don't know whether or not Kekai just didn't make it out here, or I don't see a kart on the racetrack anywhere. So he may have not made the start. Howdenio was supposed to start top 10. That leaves us with 26 drivers on the racetrack. Logan Toke, fast lap on lap 2, currently sitting in that 8th position in the number 757. Cole Klecko with a really strong run to his credit. P5 now. Cole Kleck finishing second to Noah Baker on the racetrack in the KA100 Junior class. Now runs P5 here now. X30 Masters drivers will be up next. Eight drivers in the lead group. Bit of a gap back to Danny Dzelski, who runs in 9th. Fletcher just sets the pace early here. Long way to go in this one. Eight drivers up front and wondering whether or not it's going to get dropped down to 5. They're trying to make it happen up front here right now. New leader. I want to say that might be DeLong back up front, but I think it's actually Carson Morgan in the 701. It is indeed Morgan. Carson Morgan, the P1. Fletcher, Bocuse, Kleck, and DeLong. A little further down the field, driver in the 11th spot, turning the fast lap of 104.627, 3/10, almost 3/10 quicker than the field. Michael Costello in the number 723 just laid down fast lap. Costello on the Cosmic, running with Team Bennick. Noah Baker, winner of that KA100 race, up 7 spots already into the top 10. Started deeper in the field. Christian Miles started down at 25th. He's up to 15th now. So a 10-position improvement for Miles. I think that's the biggest one we've seen so far. Yeah, indeed. Christian Miles starting 25th. Miles in the Cosmic with Mike Doty Racing has got himself now up into 15th spot. Keep an eye on him to see if he can keep working forward. Parker DeLong and Carson Morgan were 3rd and 4th across the line as Fletcher and Bocuse have gone back out front. A lot of action in these this lead group. Fletcher now the leader. Parker DeLong just went purple. The front guys are really starting to dial things in. 2 of the top 5 turning their fastest laps. Those are the ones behind Fletcher. Jeremy Fletcher the leader. Big run down the straightaway. Whoa, Parker DeLong, Bocuse, Morgan, I think all tucked into the inside of Fletcher. And again, any gap they had is gone. Nine drivers in the lead group right now. Wow, then a little bit back to Michael Costello. A lot of action. These drivers aren't content at all to sit in their spots at all. They're just bumping and banging and moving around, dive bombing here and there. And everybody wants a spot. One driver getting shuffled around. That was Cole Kleck. He got roughed up a little bit on the exit. He'll lose a couple more spots here. He's getting shuffled through. Max Garcia coming in there in the 759. He'll tuck to the inside. They'll move Cole Kleck back to 9th position. Kind of got out of sorts a little bit. Danny Dzelski, I think, is going to go by as well. Press the reset button and get back at it again. Two drivers trying to get out front, though, and get away from it here with the action happening behind. That's key. Carson Morgan out front. Jeremy Fletcher runs P2. Paul Bocuse, I believe, slotted back a spot. He's gone back to P4. But it's Morgan and Fletcher out front. Logan Toke has gone to 3rd. Bocuse in 4th. 5th now is Noah Baker. Noah Baker from 17th to P5 over 9 laps. Nice run here for Baker. Cameron Reed right behind Noah. Garcia, Costello, Kleck, and Dzelski top 10, then a second back to Cameron Weinberg. Christian Miles up 13 spots now, started 25th. He's up into 12th halfway through. Miles only a half a second behind Cameron Weinberg now, too. Out of 17, Morgan in. Fletcher, see the crossed halfway flags from Aaron Likens, 10 to go. Masters drivers in X30 have worked their way onto the grid. They'll be up next. Carson Morgan, Jeremy Fletcher, Logan Toke, Noah Baker, and Paul Bocuse. Top 5. Morgan just set his fast lap here midway through, a 104.684. Kart still coming in for Carson. Open racetrack out front, not a big challenge from Fletcher in the back. They want to kind of pull away if they can here. And they are stretching the gap on Logan Toke. Fletcher really just playing things cool now, pushing Morgan down the back chute. We saw this in a couple of the other races, but they started battling out and swapping positions. That brought everybody back into the hunt again. We'll see if Fletcher can have that patience and not do that, kind of settle in and just hold on to the spot and make this a two-driver battle at the very end. Cole Kleck just set the fast lap last time by. Remember, he got shuffled back to 10th. He has indeed pressed that reset button and is working his way back forward again. a 104.237. Cole Kleck in the 772. See if he can't get himself back up here. 7th position. Cameron Reed right in front of him. Twelve laps down, 8 to go. Masters X30 up next. 2 more races to cap off the day. And then again, as I said before, folks, before we do have our awards presentation after tech has been done, protest time has been allotted. During that time, before we do the awards, we'll make sure we have our 2020 Pro Tour Championship trophies given out. So if you're a top 3 driver last year in the Pro Tour, join us at the podium. We'll let you know when, after the racing is all done. We've got championship awards to hand out. Well, the guys behind the leaders keep their head down. They are trying to get themselves back up. A lot of the times you'll see that next group starting to fight for position, kind of giving up that lead. Hey, I'm just going to fight for third now. They really haven't done that. They keep battling it away and see if they can't close up here. Noah Baker running third. Started 17th up to third, and he was 2/10 or more quicker than Fletcher last time by. We got 7 to go. I have a feeling that Noah Baker is going to be able to catch up to this lead duo. I don't know whether or not Paul Bocuse can hang with him right now in that parallel. Bocuse looks like he's got the spot, battling it out here with Toke and Reed, and of course Kleck in there as well. But Noah Baker stretching away. Already has that KA100 win earlier today over Cole Kleck. Could he get one here in X30 Junior as well? And he's giving himself some room over Bocuse. We'll keep a look at the gap. And he was a bit quicker than the leaders last time by again. Not much, but a little bit quicker than Fletcher as Fletcher's gone to the lead. This time he's going to lead for a little bit. Morgan's going to grab there into the second spot. They only have about 0.8 of a second, 0.9 on Baker. 6 to go. Take the opportunity again to thank our broadcast partners here on the EKN Radio Network for this weekend's Trackline Live coverage. Trinity Karting Group, Parallel USA, and the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy. And as always, thank you to Team Cooper Tire. If you're putting tires on the truck, go with the Coopers. Fletcher now the leader. Morgan sliding into second. They've pulled a bit of a gap. Oh, there's Morgan to the inside again. Coming to 15. 0.888 was the gap between second and third last time by. What is it this time? After a couple of moves like that. 0.816. 0.07 of a second. Not quite enough yet. Noah Baker's got to drop down a flyer because I'll tell you, Paul Bocuse and Cameron Reed are coming. Cameron Reed pushing on Bocuse. Cole Kleck now in the 6th spot. Logan Toke has been moved back to 7th. Cole Kleck starting to get aggressive. He remembers how it felt to grab that 2nd spot. That drag race to the line to almost beat Baker for the race win in KA100. Came up just a bit short, but Kleck liking his position up front right now. And there's the move for Bocuse. They finally caught up Baker. He didn't have the pace anymore. Bocuse to P3. Throws that kart to the inside of turn number 17. A lot of passes here in 17. And Bocuse has gone to 3rd. Can they work together over the next 4 laps to try to reel in the leaders with Bocuse now P3? They are going to have to line up and push each other down the straightaway to see if they can't get to the leaders. Otherwise, they're fighting for third, the final spot on the podium. It's going to be up to Morgan and Fletcher unless they can put something together here over this last 4 laps. We've seen some thrilling action already today. It's the first day of this year's Pro Tour. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. I almost don't want to look at the phone to see what they're saying in terms of weather. 70% chance of rain. There you go. It's the great equalizer. We'll see who's able to manage it tomorrow. They're closing it down. Bocuse back by 0.7 of a second on Fletcher. They're definitely closing into the leaders here. Morgan leads, Fletcher second. Bocuse leading that next group of 4 with Baker, Reed, and Toke right with them. And throw in Cole Kleck there as well in 7th. Noah Baker's definitely the wingman for Bocuse. Reed helping as well. Just trying to keep tapping, keep bumping. Let's get a better run down the straightaway here. Help out. Not much there. Down that back straightaway when you need to lock up and literally push them down the back chute. That's what Fletcher's doing, rather Morgan's doing to Fletcher, because Fletcher back to the lead. Here goes Morgan to the inside. This is going to bring those guys behind into the fight, and they're there. That one pass in turn number 3 has now put Paul Bocuse on the rear bumper of Jeremy Fletcher. And we're going to see the one to go next time by. 7 drivers in the lead pack here in X30 Junior. Who's going to bring it home? There are fireworks still coming in this one. Fletcher holds on to the spot. Morgan goes back to P1. Bocuse was right there coming out of 3, but has lost a bit of ground. Morgan with a couple of kart lengths. Can he hold this gap? White flag will fly this time by. Morgan maybe knew exactly what he was trying to do. He's worked out front. Fletcher's asking for a little more into the 722. Bocuse up on the wheel in that peril, and he wants this win. White flag. Bocuse needs to be close enough to capitalize on whatever Fletcher can do, and he's not. They're quite a ways back. Fletcher's going to pump him again. This time, Morgan to the bottom of the racetrack. Everybody closing. Kleck to the inside. He'll go to P4. Cole Kleck by Noah Baker. Kleck to 4th. Cole Kleck into 4th spot in the Arcane Motorsports machine. It's still Morgan out front, though. Fletcher in the challenge position. Bocuse has not been able to mount any challenge as of yet. They'll stack it up coming through turn number 10. Morgan trying to see if he can't bring everybody back in potentially. Gets a good run out of turn 10 through 11, 12, and 13. He's got about 2 kart lengths coming into 14. That's pretty solid. No one making any move in 15. And not a good run through 15 for Fletcher. He's giving this thing, I think, to Morgan. He's not close enough. Kleck to the inside of Bocuse. Contact there. Coming out of the corner. Who's got the run? Bocuse trying to get it back. Cole Kleck gets the spot 3rd away from Cameron Reed. Cameron thought it was 1. That battle for 3rd. Carson Morgan with the race win. Fletcher ends up in 2nd. Cole Kleck in 3rd. Cameron Reed 4th. Paul Bocuse 5th. Kleck outrunning Cameron Reed by 4 thousandths of a second at the line. Paul Bocuse ends up 5th. Noah Baker 6th. Logan Toke 7th. Christian Miles up 17 positions from 25th to 8th. What a run for Christian Miles in the Mike Doty Racing number 707. Cameron Weinberg up 5 spots for to 9th, and Jack Jeffers up 11 positions to grab 10th. Carson Morgan, though, got the job done. He and Fletcher battling back and forth. That late race battling allowed Cole Kleck, Cameron Reed, Paul Bocuse, Noah Baker, all those guys to get back into the fight. But it was a late move by Cole Kleck to the inside of Paul Bocuse in 17. Bit of contact there at the apex to get that spot. Kleck gets it. Cameron Reed got an over-under. I think Cameron thought that the position had been won at the line, but just a little too much. Kleck had enough forward bite coming out of the corner and topped Reed by 0.04 of a second. Unofficially, the podium, Carson Morgan, Jeremy Fletcher, and Cole Kleck. Wow, great race there in X30 Junior. The Masters drivers will be up next, folks. 2 more races to go. Stay tuned. More to come here on the EKN Radio Network.
You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires.
Wins at the sport's biggest races and championships across all levels of karting make up the resume for Nitro Kart. The Nitro Kart has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. The 2021 Cadet is the evolution of that success, featuring the latest development and components to put you at the front. If you want to win in Cadet, get a Nitro Kart and join the team. The Nitro Kart Cadet claimed 5 victories at the SKUSA Pro Tour, including the Mini Swift Championship in 2020. At the United States Pro Kart Series, Nitro Kart Cadet earned 5 wins and 14 podiums in mini and micro competition. For a second straight year, Nitro Kart won the U.S. Rotax Grand Nationals in the Minimax division, bringing the title total to 4 in 4 years. If you've seen it on track, it certainly caught your eye. Dominating the 4-cycle world is the Nitro Kart Lefty chassis. The chassis is designed for the Briggs & Stratton 206 engine with a left side mount for better weight distribution. The Lefty is available in cadet and full-size frames. The Nitro Kart Lefty won the CKNA Grand Nationals 4 in both sportsman and junior categories, with fast time in qualifying for the senior division. Drivers with the Lefty were ranked number 1 in the Briggs & Stratton Weekly Racing Series for junior and cadet divisions. Team Nitro Kart will be at all major events in 2021 with programs tailored to every driver's needs. Focused on driver development, the cadet program under Team Nitro Kart has helped develop some of today's stars, including Brent Cruz, Parker DeLong, Ben Mayer, and Spencer Conrad. Visit Nitro Kart online and find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Now back to the Superkarts USA WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network.
Drivers coming around here for the X30 Masters category, brought to you by Comet Kart Sales. Jess Peterson starting on the pole alongside Mario Barrios. It'll be Eric Molinati on row 2 with Glauber Granero. Magno Gaia in 5th against Danilo Romalo. Not sure what happened to Romalo for him to fall down the order after winning the pre-final going away. Wilmer Valentin and Michael Oriema were on row 4, and Francisco Marquez and Curtis Terry on the final row of the 10 we have in the category. Drivers getting the green and underway. So Romalho getting a 10-second penalty from the pre-final for manipulation of the start. All I got to think in looking down when I remember that start, I have a feeling he didn't hold a steady pace. I remember kind of looking down and seeing that he was kind of pulsing on the throttle a little bit and kind of going back and forth. I believe that once you get into the staging lanes, you have to hold a steady pace. And again, a 10-second penalty for Romalho drops him down to 5th or 6th. We'll see how he does after the opening lap here. He's pretty quick, as we know. Seems to be the dominant driver, but Jess Peterson's jumped out to the early lead now. Barrios goes into 2nd. Molinati now runs in 3rd. Romalho back probably in about the 6th spot, but probably just going to bide his time knowing the pace that he has. So it's Peterson, Barrios, and Molinari, top three. Romalho may get 2 passes here in this corner. No, I'm just going to go for the one. Going to slide to the inside of Glaubo Granero, so I move Romalho now up into the 5th spot. Again, the dominant driver in qualifying and the pre-final, but that 10-second penalty for manipulating the start, dropping him back to 6th. Just one more race to go after this one, folks. We'll be seeing the X30 Senior drivers working their way onto the grid momentarily. 20-lapper for those drivers. Capping off the day, we'll have our 2020 SKUSA Pro Tour Championship Trophy presentation immediately after the races here when we get set up and ready to go. From there, we'll head into the presentation of the awards for round 1 here of the Winter Nationals. Let everybody get out to a fantastic dinner before we head back at it tomorrow. Romalho has now worked his way into P4. Again, with the pace that he has shown over the day, you have to believe that even with the penalty and starting deeper in the field, he'll have a plan just to take his time, get himself into where he needs to be, and then go reel in the leaders. He's got good speed. But then again, Jess Peterson, if they were going to find some more pace in that Ricardo, he may be able to jet away. Mario Barrios and Eric Molinari continue to run second and third, but Romalho starting to come on strong here. Again, a long race, 20 laps. Barrios on the Rolson Performance Group Cosmic Machine. Molinari with CKR USA on the CKR chassis. P3. Only thing to consider maybe late in the race is that the fact that Molinari only got the 1 lap in qualifying, as did Romalho. Romalho on purpose turned his fast lap and pulled in. Molinari had an issue on the racetrack after the 1 lap. So potentially 4 or 5 laps fresher tires than the drivers around him. We'll see how that works come the end of the race. Peterson now still with that 1 second lead, but Romalho last time by, purple 104.057, 7/10 quicker than the leader. As I said, Romalho, regardless of where he was going to start, I think figured he had the pace to be able to work his way forward. They've got that thing hooked up. Kevin Monteith and the Racing Edge Motorsports crew on the Cosmics. Romalho getting a big run here. He will not yet look to the inside of Molinari. Thought he might think about it in 1, but again, when you got that much more pace, take your time. Gets a big run out of turn number 3, and we're literally just drive by Molinari down the straightaway. Man, they got that thing working. The chassis looking perfect, and the engine obviously tuned up nice because he just simply got the run out of 1, worked it through the chicane of turn number 2, and just drove by down the straightaway. It wasn't a late breaker. It was just all the way down the straight, motor on by. Let's see if Molinari can potentially tuck in behind Romalho here. We'll go X30 Senior racing to cap off the day. We had some blue skies here at the track. The wind's been up all day long. Tomorrow could be a different story. 70% chance of rain calling here for the track, so we may end up with a wet day tomorrow. Ramalho has worked his way, of course, into second spot, able to get by Mario Barrios, and now sets his sights on Jess Peterson. Again, lots of opportunities to overtake here. And with the challenge of the circuit, 17 different corners, if you're losing a tenth a corner, there's your 1.7 seconds back. We see a lot of big gaps in terms of the speed. Qualifying at some tracks, of course, everyone within maybe a second, right? Here we've seen guys maybe half the field a second, and even in some of the bigger categories, guys 1.5, 2 seconds off, simply because there's so many opportunities to lose it here, lose pace if you're not absolutely perfect on the chassis or the engine. Long racetrack with a lot of corners. Jess Peterson knows Ramalho's coming. Got out to a good start. Led the first 7 laps. I got a feeling that this will be it for the lead because Ramalho gets a great run out here. Pulls up behind, out to the outside, drives on the side. Let's see if Peterson can about break him into turn 3. He does not. Ramalho goes down to the inside. He's got the spot. So there you go, Danilo Ramalho from 6th spot on the grid. Took him 7 laps. Your new leader. Peterson to 2nd, Barrios 3rd, Molinari 4th, and Granero 5th. Manuel Gaia runs in the 6th spot. Michael Oriema in 7th. Francisco Marquez in 8th. Curtis Terry in 9th, and Wilmer Valentin Jr. 10th. Eighth, 9th, and 10th. All within about 0.3 of a second of each other. Marquez, Terry, and Valentin. I want to say Valentin's been able to go to P9. Terry will go back to 10th spot. Leaders still battling it out here now. Man, there's something's gone on. Somebody's had an issue because the leader's scrapping it out once again. Molinari was right back into it. Barrios may be the leader. We may have lost Ramalho. Indeed, the 518 of Danilo Ramalho, who came from 6th to the lead, is done. Something's happened to Ramalho. He is out. Led for a lap and a half and has pulled to pit lane. So not sure what happened to Danilo Ramalho, but he is done. So again, wide open the race. I thought he was going to walk from here. Indeed, the 3 drivers who were going to battle for the final 2 spots are now racing for the win. Not just the final 2 spots at the podium now. The driver who we expected to pull away at the end there is gone, and it's Peterson, Barrios, and Molinari. Ricardo, Cosmic, CKR. Who's it going to be as we're just coming to the halfway point this next time by? Jess Peterson leading the way. Barrios second, Molinari third. We'll look at lap times as well here to see who's picking up speed, maybe who's falling off a little bit. Peterson just went green. That bodes well for him, a 104.477, a tenth quicker than Barrios, and almost 4/10 faster than Eric Molinari. Molinari and the CKR falling back to P3. Still a good run, no doubt. He's got 2.4 seconds on Glauber Granero. Again, those drivers running 7th, 8th, and 9th still having a great run. Francisco Marquez in the 521, Wilmer Valentin Jr. in the 505, and Curtis Terry in the 569. Really good stuff. Jess Peterson just tries to keep pushing to try to stay ahead of Mario Barrios here. Both drivers turning their best laps, a 104.3. Molinari falling away, but he's got a big gap. So Molinari P3 pretty comfortably here now. Again, Danilo Ramalho started 6th. Went to the lead after 7 laps, held it for a lap and a half, and something's happened mechanically for him to go to pit lane. "12 laps down, 8 laps remaining in X30 Master, brought to you by Comet Kart Sales. Jess Peterson leads, Barrios runs in second. That's the fight, first and second. Molinari all by himself, P3. Six laps remaining. Peterson and Barrios have pulled 2.5 seconds on Molinari. Essentially everything else is pretty much separated, other than Wilmer Valentin and Curtis Terry still running decently close together. Peterson not that much of a lead though on Barrios. This is just a couple of tenths of a second here. 4/10 last time by. Both drivers really consistent in the mid to low 104 lap times. Yeah, almost exactly the same lap times. Barrios maybe 200s quicker that last time by. The gap's still right around a half a second, maybe a little under a half a second. Francisco Marquez, Wilmer Valentin, and Curtis Terry still all running within a second together. Molinari by himself in third, Granero in fourth, Gaia in fifth, Oriema sixth, all by themselves. But this battle up front with 5 to go, not done. Peterson and Barrios. Peterson, a good lap there as he's consistent. His best lap was a lap 12, a 104.335, just a 104.552, so just 0.2 off. Whereas Barrios about 0.3 off his best. Just gapped him another 1/10 of a second. Peterson trying to get that done. Just keep that up. Peterson with Phil Giebler Racing, Vulture Power, Sparks, Nevada. Led strongly from the get-go. Ramalho Kane Collin was able to get through all the top drivers in this particular race group and then slid by Peterson, drove by him on the back straightaway to get the race win. Peterson never gave up, but obviously an issue with Ramalho put him on the sidelines. That put Peterson back to the lead, and he really has been consistent. We'll keep looking at those lap times. Another 52.5, although Barrios gets down to a 52.398. Closes it back up a 10th, a little over a 10th. 3 to go for Jess Peterson, trying to get the race win here. Watching again as leaders come around on to start finish. 104.498, 104.411. The gap now less than 0.4 of a second. Barrios chipping away at it. 2 laps to go. It's about 4, maybe 3 kart lengths for Jess Peterson to try to hold off Mario Barrios. Peterson still able to hold that pace, and the a sizable gap of about 3 or 4, maybe 4, or almost 5 kart lengths at a time. Holding what he needs to do. Barrios has been a little bit quicker over every last lap. Peterson rolls out to see the white flag. 1 to go. 0.359 back to 0.420. Both drivers 104.4s, and I'll tell you, Peterson over this last bunch of laps. Let me really quickly look because we got time here in this final circuit. I want to see what his lap times here. It's been impressive. Yeah, I'm going all the way back here. Midway, lap 10, 104.49, 104.47, 104.33 is best lap. Then a 4, then a 4, then a 4, then a 5, then a 5, then a 4, then a 4. This guy has been unbelievable right now. Peterson's lap time so consistent up front, banging it out within 1/10 of a second. Barrios throwing everything he can here at the final circuit. But Peterson, the veteran driver for so many years, is really laying down a performance. This is just textbook consistency. Final time through turn 17. Barrios threw everything he had in him but couldn't get it done. Jess Peterson with the win. In X30 Master, brought to you by Comet Kart Sales. Have a look at Race Hero, folks, and you look at his lap times. The last one, a 104.527, anywhere between a 3.3 and a 5.3, I think. Incredible run there for Peterson. He gets the victory by over 4/10 of a second from Mario Barrios. Eric Molinati coming home in third for CKRA. Glauber Granero ends up in fourth. Manuel Gaia in fifth. Michael Oriema sixth. Francisco Marquez in seventh. Curtis Terry eighth. And Wilmer Valentin Jr. in ninth. One more race to go here on the EKN Radio Network, folks. Don't go anywhere. We saved the best for last. X30 Senior to cap off the day.
You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Parolin USA, Allen Rudolph Racing Academy, Trinity Karting Group, and Cooper Tires. Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and the safety gear you need to get you on the track. Visit shopakr.com for a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors of the sport to ensure all the latest equipment is available to you, the racer. With over 20 years in business and customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price when you need them. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Make sure to follow Acceleration Kart Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials and new arrivals. Now back to the Superkarts USA WinterNationals, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale, Louisiana, on the EKN Radio Network.
Welcome back to the EKN Radio Network live coverage of the first round of the Superkarts USA Pro Tour for 2021, the WinterNationals here at NOLA Motorsports, and we are set to go with the last race of the day, X30 Senior, brought to you by Rallison Performance Group. Drivers are ready to line up. Diego Ramos will start on the pole position alongside Biggs Tyner. Row 2 will be Hannah Greenmeyer and Ryan Norberg. Row 3, Paulie Massimino and Thomas Annunziata. Row 4, Cole Morgan and Max Opolsky. Capping off your top 10, Bryson Morris, the reigning champion, starting 9th alongside Jake Drew. Well, row 6 will have Nick Ramirez and Luke Lang. Row 7, Oliver Calvo and Dante Yu. Row 8, Hayden Jones and Colby Dubato. On row 9, it'll be Finnegan Bailiff and Jace Park. Row 10, Thomas Nepvu and Alex Stanfield. Row 11 will have Timothy Carroll alongside Nate Cicero. Row 12, Logan Vajda and Renato Jadro-David. Row 13, Ryan Vincent and Matias Ramirez. The remainder of the field setting themselves up into the staging lanes. Ramos spooling up. Last race of the day, green. Drivers working to get through turn number 1 clean. The front half of the field looks real good. Everybody else through as well. They'll get themselves through the chicane now too. 2, 3 wide. Going down the back straightaway. Hard braking into turn number 3 at the end of the straightaway. Big left-hand sweeper bringing them back around to turn number 5. Good start for the drivers here in X30 Senior. Stark contrast to what we saw back in 2018 before the pushback bumper. Really nice run as the drivers getting cleanly through these opening corners. Battle setting up, 20-lap distance. It's a long one, and we've seen some of these races develop interestingly where we've had breakaways, and then they battle. Everybody comes back in the fight again, only to have breakaways cap off the race one more time. We'll see how it shakes out here. We'll give you a top 20 rundown when they come across the line for the first time. Ramos out to the early lead, going to turn number 17. Away we go with X30 Senior. Ramos is your leader. Into the second spot goes Brandon Tyner. Greenmeyer in third. Norberg fourth. Massimino fifth. Annunziata sixth spot. Opolsky seventh. Drew eighth. Morgan ninth. Bryson Morris in 10th. 11th is Nick Ramirez. 12th, Oliver Calvo. 13th, Dante Yu. 14th, Jace Park up 4 spots. Finnegan Bailiff in 15th. Luke Lang 16th. Thomas Nepvu 17th. Alex Stanfield, Nate Cicero, and Renato Jader David round out the top 20. Breakaway of a minor sort for Diego Ramos. Maybe 4-5 kart lengths here early. Only really getting out in front of the opening lap chaos, not that much. We'll see what happens with both Tyner, Greenmeyer, and Norberg, the three Rollison Performance Group drivers lining up behind him to try to reel him in. Early on, get some heat built into these Avinco tires. Drivers will go to work. 8-driver breakaway, though. Back to the 9th place running Cole Morgan in the number other. It's actually 320 now up into 9th. That's Nick Ramirez. Good lap for Ramirez from 11th up into the 9th spot. Five drivers up front, then 6th, 7th, and 8th together. Opolsky, Annunziata, and Drew. But up front, it's Ramos, Greenmeyer, Tyner, Norberg, and Massimino. Early laps of this 20-lapper. Hannah Greenmeyer into 2nd spot now. Purple lap last time by. Hannah, Hurricane Hannah trying to reel in Diego Ramos. Behind, everybody locked up behind Biggs Tyner. This is bringing the 321 of Opolsky back into the fight as well. Opolsky closing back up. Ramos, Greenmeyer, Tyner, Norberg, Massimino, top 5. But we got a little 2-driver breakaway right now with Ramos and Greenmeyer. Back-to-back purple laps for Greenmeyer. And she's P2, but giving chase to Diego Ramos. Big mover coming from the tail of the field. Connor Zilic starting all the way back in the 41st position, very tail of the field. Or 39th rather, 39th position, dead last. Worked his way forward here now. Where is he up to now? 21st for Connor Zilic. We'll keep an eye on Connor as he continues to try to come forward here. Connor Zilic had a decent run in that pre-final, but got caught for cart width. Too wide. As we have a new leader, Hannah Greenmeyer has gone to P1. But Zilic coming from the back after too wide in the pre-final. Still early in this race, 5 down, 15 to go. Greenmeyer leading the way over Ramos. Two-driver breakaway, as I said, Greenmeyer and Ramos still looking good, even with the pass. Even with the pass, they didn't lose a lot of ground. Ramos has gotten back to P1. Greenmeyer into that second spot. They're going to watch out for Paulie Massimino. He's got to the tail of that front of that grid in the Mike Doty Racing entry. Massimino looking really good right now. Just turned his fast lap of 103.046. Norberg 4th, Piner 5th, Drew 6th, Ramirez 7th, Opalski 8th, Annunziata 9th, and Oliver Calvo riding out the top 10. Ramos able to take that spot back from Greenmeyer. Long way to go still, not even to the halfway point, 7 laps in. See if they'll settle back in to try to pull away. Massimino holding that next group's lead with Norberg, Tyner, and Drew behind him. Zilich now up into the 16th spot, 6.2 seconds back, fast lap of the race. A lap ago for Connor Zilich, 102.645. He's going to work here now on Nate Cicero. We'll pick up Zilich. Good run so far. And number 372, Connor Zilich. CIK Academy Trophy winner last year. A champion in that tremendous program. Caleb Gaffaro is going to run that series this year, but Zilich scored the impressive championship last year, and he has had a season to start off here as a rookie in the senior categories. He's been winning everything he's been at. Trying to get himself back into it now. He goes purple again on lap number 8 into 16th position now, 6.1 seconds behind the leaders. 0.3 quicker. Greenmeyer, though, right back up here now on Ramos. They are pulling away. Ryan Norberg's been able to get by Paulie Massimino and move him to 3rd. And I believe that may be Jake Drew, potentially. Yeah, Drew in the number 322 machine for Ryan Perry Motorsports. Drew now up into 4th. P4 for Drew. Tyner 5th. Massimino 6th. Ramirez 7th. Opolski 8th. Nunziata and Calvo still 9th and 10th. Zilich down to 14th. Wow. 6 seconds back for Connor Zilich. Still 11 laps to go. That two-driver breakaway still holding on, though, with Ramos and Greenmeyer. They got to not battle yet. They got to keep pulling away. When you fight, you let the other guys come in, especially down at the end of the straightaway. How many guys have we seen make moves to the bottom of the track trying to get that late break in turn number 3 at the end of the straightaway and just let the entire field climb right back up with you? Final race of the day here. Opening round of the SKUSA Pro Tour. Rob Howden alongside Alicia Hodap. Thank you so much for tuning into the EKN Radio Network. We're getting at it here. Crossed halfway flags this time by. 10 down, 10 to go. Ramos and Greenmeyer still with almost a full second on Ryan Norberg. Norberg about a 10th quicker that last time by, though. Oh, there's a move to the inside. That's that turn 3 I'm worried about. Greenmeyer goes back to the lead, though. But that's going to give Norberg a chance because the minute you make that pass down there, you just give up so much exit of that corner. We've seen it just eat into the potential lead. Greenmeyer, though, goes out front. Ramos back into 2nd. 10 laps to go. Can Greenmeyer pull away now? She's got about a 3 or 4 kart length lead. Norberg trying to reel in. See if he can't get in there to go P2. Zilich now up into 13th spot. Dante Yu 10th. Bryson Morris back. Zilich to 13th position. From the very tail of the field, 39th. 5.9 seconds back. He's chipping a tenth at a time, but Zilich potentially able to get up a couple more spots, trying to see if he can't reel in Oliver Calvo now for 12th. Nonetheless, it's been a great run here. Greenmeyer still the leader with Ramos right behind. Cosmic 1, 2, 3. Great way to cap off today. We got some blue skies peeking through these heavy clouds. Looking like it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain tires on these karts. We'll all do what we can in our outside EKN Cooper Tire broadcast there to keep things dry. Hoping to get an easy up set up. Do what we can to kind of stay dry here with all the computer equipment. Greenmeyer a 102.9 last time by. Same goes for Ramos, but a 102.705 for Ryan Norberg. Norberg's going to be catching Ramos here pretty soon, and that may be the best thing for Greenmeyer. If Norberg can start putting some pressure and potentially get by Diego Ramos, that may give Greenmeyer a little room. But right now, the Rolison Performance Group drivers running first, third, fifth. As Big Steiner putting the pressure on Jake Drew from behind as well. $12 laps down, it'll be 7 to go, and they get back around to the stripe here. Cooling off just a little bit here now as the breeze continues. It's been pretty consistent throughout the day. Greenmeyer nailing the apex of turn 17. Ramos keeps setting his best laps, but they're pretty much exactly the same. Greenmeyer was about 0.03 of a second faster that last time by. Norberg's not got any closer to Ramos either. Ramos closing right back up here on Greenmeyer into turn 10. She stretches it back out through 11 to probably 2 or 3 kart lengths. Close one here, though. Getting down the back chute. Pretty good lead for Greenmeyer, 3 or 4 car lengths. It's the top 6 down the back straightaway by about 1.6 seconds. Greenmeyer, Ramos, Norberg, Tyner, Drew, and Massimino. Connor Zilich up into the 11th spot now, and he's working on Dante Yu. What a great run it's been here for Zilich. And I think he's into 10th. Yeah, he's already by. Zilich to the top 10 from 39th on the grid. And he literally has 7th, 8th, and 9th in his sights with 6 to go. 6 laps remaining. Another fast lap for Zilich, a 102.558 into 10th. 6 tenths quicker than Max Opolsky, and he's only back by 9 tenths. This guy is putting on a show right now, Connor Zilich. The best he's going to be able to do, I think, potentially to get up to 7th position, but from dead last in this field, what a performance it would be for young Zilich. 6 drivers up front, so consistent with their lap times. Massimino just turned his best, a 102.702. Greenmeyer, 102.773. Ramos, 102.883. Norberg actually a bit quicker, And in fact, Norberg closing back up on Ramos now. He's about a length back. Ryan Norberg. See if he can't reel him in. Tyner's been able to get by Opolsky, or Drew rather. So move Tyner to P4. Rollison Performance Group 1-3-4. And Norberg closing up here on Ramos. 4 laps to go. Hurricane Hannah Greenmeyer out front. 0.4 of a second was the lead last time by. We'll cap off the day here at NOLA Motorsports. Norberg keeps digging in, trying to find some speed to get to Ramos. Not quite close enough for a move in either 15 or 17. Greenmeyer hitting the marks. Three laps to go to cap off today's action. Ramos turns his fast lap last time by a 102.683. Just about a tenth quicker than Greenmeyer. It's still 0.4 of a second though. Greenmeyer at a 10. About 2 to 3 kart lengths. The Rollison Performance Group Cosmic looking good. Two laps remaining next time by. Zilic has got his way to 8th position. 8th spot, and make that 7th. 7th position for Connor Zilic from 39th. What a drive on the Nitro. Man, Zilic impressive. Back to the point here. Top 4 drivers have kind of dropped, Drew and Massimino. So it's Greenmeyer, Ramos, Norberg, and Tyner. Greenmeyer's led for the last number of laps. Good little battle early with Ramos, but she's had it where she needs it. Really hitting all the marks here for Greenmeyer. Her fast lap of 102.753, last lap 102.791. Literally 0.4 of a second off her fast lap. The consistency's been there. She's got probably about 0.4 of a second lead over Ramos right now. Norberg may have himself some challenge from Tyner. White flag's going to fly this time by. Another good corner there for Hannah Greenmeyer. Through turn number 1. She'll work her way down the back straightaway. The gap over 0.4 of a second last time by. Ramos digging in to try to throw anything he can to try to get this win away. Greenmeyer clean through turn number 3. Over to 4. She's got enough of a gap right now. No chance for any dive bomb moves for Diego Ramos. Out of turn number 9. In the last 11 years in the Superkarts USA Pro Tour, we've never had a woman win a main event. Sabre Cook, a champion, but never a woman on top of the podium in the Superkarts USA Pro Tour's 11 years. Out of 15, 16 to 17. Check this box. The winner today, Hurricane Hannah Greenmeyer. Greenmeyer wins a dominant second half performance and the first ever female winner of a Superkarts USA Pro Tour event. Colorado's Hannah Greenmeyer for Rollison Performance Group scores the victory. 0.556. The margin of victory over Diego Ramos. Ryan Norberg in 3rd, Brandon Tyner 4th, Rollison Performance Group 1, 3, 4. And a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for Cosmic. Jake Drew ends up P5. Paulie Massimino 6th. Connor Zilich in 7th. Max Opolsky 8th. Nick Ramirez 9th. And Nate Cicero rounding out the top 10. What a performance for Connor Zilich. Started 39th. Works his way all the way up into the 7th position. Fast lap of the race on lap 16, a 102.544. Just a tremendous run. But that run by Zilich overshadowed by a tremendous victory. Groundbreaking victory here in the Superkarts USA Pro Tour. As I said before, in the 11 years of this series, there has never been a female winner of the Pro Tour. We've got one now, Hannah Greenmeyer for Rollison Performance Group. The winner by a half a second over Diego Ramos. Ryan Norberg, Brian Tyner, and Jake Drew will round out the top 5, and that caps things off from today's action here. Ladies and gentlemen, what a tremendous day of competition. This racetrack, as we know, just shows so well. There's so many great overtaking opportunities and really a tremendous way to cap off the day. And just what a run for Hannah Greenmeyer. Pressured the entire time by Diego Ramos. As I said, her lap times were unbelievably consistent. Backed it down to a 102.844. Otherwise, right around that 102.7 mark the entire time. You really couldn't ask for much more. But I'll tell you, what a great day it was. It's going to be a lot different tomorrow. We did get some blue skies here today, which was fantastic. But as we said, we're all looking at the forecast. We know that they're saying rain's coming tomorrow. So bolt on the wets, and we'll see what people can do because racing in the rain, a lot of fun, and obviously the great equalizer as well. Kudos to all the race winners for today. Man, what a tremendous run it was. And we're back here to do it all again tomorrow. Same time, same racetrack, folks. 8 o'clock warm-ups, 9:05 qualifying, 10:25 pre-finals, and 1 o'clock for the main events. Tremendous way to cap off today. Thank you so much for tuning into the EKN Radio Network. Big shout-out to our broadcast partners here today, Trinity Karting Group, Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Parolin USA, and as always, Cooper Tire. Thank you so much for joining us, folks, here on the EKN Radio Network. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us from the Superkarts USA WinterNationals in Avondale, Louisiana. Our EKN Trackside Live coverage, audio production, and social media was managed by Alicia Hodow. Rob Howden provided our race commentary. Big thank you to our broadcast partners this weekend, Trinity Karting Group, Parolin USA, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Team Cooper Tire. This EKN Live broadcast is copyrighted by eKartingNews.com and the Howden Media Group. This is Rob Howden, and thank you for tuning in this weekend and throughout the entire 2021 season.